Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Adam McCullough. We are back, finally. And, of course, today, Man United against West Ham United. Huge games for the Reds, especially with West Ham creeping up on that top four. And our form has been a little bit, iffy, hasn't it? Despite that win over Manchester City, we have been up and down and up and down. But hopefully, we'll be ending today on a real high. And we'll be with you for the whole of today's game. Of course, we'll have the pre-match stuff, the team news, your predictions. We'll have the watch-along, the review after the watch-along. We'll have fan cams coming up for you. So much stuff to keep you entertained and hopefully entertain you guys in what is going to be a match that Man United win. I can smell it. I can smell the 3 points. Fingers crossed, eh? It's going to be a difficult one. But before we get stuck into all of that, make sure you're keeping it like, comment, share, subscribe, join if you can. And right now we're going to get stuck into a little bit of this week's Howson's Brew. I was on it as well. Wearing the same top.
But yeah, going back to the super chat,
someone else is saying,
what was the atmosphere
not
like
true,
in the
1996, I was told to sit down. You will have times when you were told to sit down.
that was Tannoy Woman. And that was, right, Joe, you won't necessarily know this, but Adam, who is, not that guy, one of our producers upstairs.
Adam Patterson.
That's us gone.
No. It's still on.
The electric's gone in here.
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Are we still streaming? Yeah. Right, cool.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
The power has gone, right? What's it? What do you call
someone's fucked the lights.
Right.
Flues.
All right, cool. Anyway, what the fuck
This
was
is gonna
this?
Bring up that super chat, Cam.
This is going to look so good on the shot.
Cam, look at the stage. Oh, it's not that
Oh, sick. It looks good, man. It looks like we're like...
The atmosphere in
Moody
the early
lightning.
90s. Oh, sorry, Tannoy Woman, right?
Yeah.
So Tannoy Woman, it was against Arsenal, 1996.
He's off his head in it.
Right? 1996, Tannoy Woman was playing against Arsenal. I remember it because David Seaman had hurt himself and was doing the old wounded soldier trick, like getting up dead slow and all that lot.
Crimea River.
And then a woman got on, "Will K-Stan please sit down?" And everyone was like, "Fuck off! Not sitting down." And Adam's dad, was the one who was like, "Nah, fuck this, stand up, stand up." That's where Stand Up for the Champions came from.
Really?
Yep. K-Stand, about 1996.
Don't forget, you can also get all of these podcasts on Spotify, Audio Boom, iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcasts. So make sure you're searching us up on there, Stretford Paddock. The links will be in the description below as well. Give us some reviews, man. 5-star me. Get on it. Great podcast too. Also, what you can do for every match day is get your predictions into us. paddockmatchday@gmail.com. Send in your clips, just like these guys have, with your predictions, a few little thoughts ahead of the game. 30 seconds, no more, no less. Get that into us, and you may appear in the next watch along. But for now, let's get stuck into some of the predictions you lot have sent in. Run VT.
Oh guys, prediction for Manchester United versus West Ham. Close game I'm expecting, really big game considering that Leicester City have won and gone above us. Also, Chelsea dropping points, be an opportunity to take points off West Ham, and also Everton dropping points yesterday. This would be massive in making the end of this season a lot easier. Marcus Rashford back in the squad. How fully fit he is, I don't know. We need to get through to this international break. I'm hoping for 2-1 today for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford and Bruno will go for scorers today. Let's just get through to the international break. I don't care about performances up until then. If we can get through in both cups and get 3 points today, it would be absolutely massive for Manchester United.
It's Ronaldo here and I'm back with another pre-match prediction for the West Ham game later on. And it's an interesting one because we are a little bit short-handed today, as we all know. And I think it's going to be a bit of a tight game. I think it could possibly end up being a 1-1 draw, which isn't good for us and isn't good for anybody. But I could see it materialising that way because West Ham have been in a good run of form. They've been really stronger than David Moyes and they would have been a formidable outfit anyway, even if we had our full 11.
Right then, so United taking on West Ham tonight in the Premier League. Big game this for United. Hopefully United can push on from the momentum they got against that big result against Manchester City in the league and carry that on to the game today. Big game in sort of the race to the top four, to be honest. I think the title's probably gone now, so United really need to cement second place, and West Ham are a good side. United got a good result earlier on against them this season, but they do have a couple of really good players, the likes of Souček, the likes of Fornals, Lingard as well. If he's playing, we're not sure about that. Good players in their team, so I'd have to be careful to sort of keep them at bay. They've got a couple of players like Antonio as well that are quite fast, so Lindelof, Maguire have got to be careful of them.
So this is surprisingly a big game. You wouldn't have thought so earlier on in the season, but West Ham have proven time and time again they're a club that teams should be worried about this year, and they're in the top 4 deservedly. So, positive for United is that their best player since January has been Jesse Lingard, and he can't play because of the loan agreement, so that's good. But they still have a lot of players who are dangerous, especially Thomas Souček, who's been really dangerous off corners, and United aren't good on corners, so we can probably see him scoring today. I'm not sure about the results today. I'm going to go with 2-1 to United. Always go for that win. And I think Bruno Fernandes is going to get on the score sheet. And hopefully, if Amad Diallo starts, he might get on the score sheet too. So we'll go with that, 2-1.
My name's John. This is the Paddock Match Day predictions for Manchester United versus West Ham. But before we start, if you're new here, give the lads at Stretford Paddock a massive thumbs up, a subscribe, because what they do is absolutely mint. Great guys as well. So Manchester United have put Ollie in charge for a little bit longer. The Ollie Out Brigade won't be happy, I guess. But it's not about that, it's about the game. We were up here against Manchester City. We ended up down here against AC Milan. So let's get somewhere in the middle or a little bit higher and let's beat West Ham. I'm not going to go extravagant like 4-0 like last time. I'm going to say a 2-0 victory and just let's be happy with that. Up the Paddock.
Alright lads, Adam from the back post. Now we've got West Ham tonight. Two somewhat informed teams. They're fighting for Champions League, so they've got a lot of fire in the belly. And I don't know, it seems like because we're second and we're quite comfortably second, it seems like we've sort of took our foot off the gas a bit. So we need to improve on that. Luckily their best player is unable to play today, Lingard. So that ought to do us some favours, but I'm expecting a win. If we don't win, I'll be very disappointed. Let's say 2-0. Come on, United.
So I think it's going to be a tight game and it could end up in a draw, and I believe it might be 1-1. And I think the only saving grace about today's game is that we could see a start for the star boy, Amad Diallo. And it'll be interesting to see how he plays. But one thing that is another positive is we don't have Jesse Lingard, who's been their star man as of late, to worry about with him being on loan, so that could work in our advantage. But all in all, I believe it might end up in a draw, 1-1.
I think on paper United have a better team than West Ham do, but United don't really have a great record against West Ham, which is slightly concerning, but they should definitely have enough of themselves to see themselves off against West Ham. United are playing at home, so again, should be a comfortable win this really, and hopefully, there's other players that might come back into the United team today. Might see Diallo again. I thought he was one of the only good players actually against Milan during the week, so it'd be good to see him in the squad again, and maybe a couple of other young players as well. I'm not sure, but hopefully United can push on and get a good result today, and they should get a good result like I was saying, and I'm going to say 2-0 to United.
Hey, Pastor Stretford Paddock. This is Sam Spanning from the United Forever podcast, and this is my score prediction against West Ham Sandwich. I believe that we can win at least by 2 goals. And it's time that Scotty McTotty got back on the score sheet, because this kid has been on fire this season. So come on, mate, you can do one, and you can obviously boss around Declan Egg Fried Rice in the middle of the park. And finally, please do not forget that it's a very special day. 1 month immediately after St. Valentine's Day, we know that it's Steak and BJ Day. So hopefully we can put some of our Manscaped balls to some good use. And if not, well, if there's no luck, just get a Deliveroo and use Henry the Hoover. Viva El Paddock.
Paddock match day prediction of Manchester United against West Ham at Old Trafford. A win against West Ham will surely, strongly put us in a good position to finish in the top 4 and for Champions League football next season. We're up against a West Ham side who are banging form. Moyes, a former United manager, didn't expect it. He's doing well with them. Jesse Lingard, in the form of his life. He won't be playing on the weekend, but they've still got lots of Souček, Rice, Antonio, so many good players in their team.
Hi guys, Liam here, coming in with my preview for the full-time Devils on the Watchalong today. Hard to be sure, to be honest, how David Moisey will come at us, but I am predicting a 1-1 draw, unfortunately. I just think that with all the injuries up front, we're going to struggle to create too many clear-cut opportunities. Thankfully, Lingard's not going to be available, despite his great run of form, so that's good news for us at United. But I think maybe if Bruno Fernandes is having one of his better performances, maybe United can come out of this with the 3 points. But I think if Fernandes isn't playing to his absolute best, I just don't think the players around him up front, the Dan Jameses, the out-of-form Martials and Greenwoods, obviously Amad Diallo and Shotai, I just don't think that they're at the level yet, or at the level of consistency in the case of the other ones to muster up a 3-point result unless Fernandes is at his absolute best, in which case he might be able to drag the performance level of those around him up. So I am going to go, unfortunately, with just the 1-1 draw for United.
We've got to watch out for their set pieces because they're dangerous from them. United, we're not as good in set pieces, so they've got to learn against West Ham. We've got to mark, and they've just got to keep them out. My score prediction, I'm going for a 3-1 Man United win. Come on, United.
Paddock match day, Notch here. Now, this season has revealed a massive change in dynamics, hasn't it? The inconsistencies and fatigue starting to affect every team, except the ones with 3 squads. But nothing prepared me to see us in a top 4 battle with West Ham. Now, we're not going to face Jesse Lingard, but hey, he's just a kid. Grown. But it looks like we really will have to play our own kids in this due to injuries. So I could see Moyes employ his usual tactic of parking the spaceship for an hour. I mean, why not just brick up the goalmouth, mate? They might have a few players of their own out though, so I'm going to say we'll scrape it 1-0 and send them back to Canning Town, battling for the Europa League with other average clubs like the current champions. Trust the Notch there.
Interesting predictions there. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Manchester United. I'm going to go squeaking it. We're going to get a victory. But let's not get stuck into my predictions. Let's not get caught up on that. Let's get stuck into this clip from the transfer review. And in this week's transfer review, the Glazers had pissed Steve off.
Let's just go off topic a second. Glazers have just announced a dividend for, what's it called? Old Avi, I think it was. One of the Glazers anyway. Just announced a dividend, £71 million, $100 million he's taking out in dividends, selling like 5 million shares. What does that mean on the United front? Apparently he's sorting out his family estate for the future. Fucking nice one. Cheers. How about sorting this estate out? 16 years the Glazers have owned this football club. This year they announced that they just, or this month, they've just announced that they had to take a loan of another 60 million quid on top of the 500 or 455 million quid that we already owe. In 16 years, we've paid back almost £100 million a season in interest and debt refinancing costs. 1.6 billion. There's a myth going round about how the Glazers run this club. And I think the myth isn't that they're not good owners. I think the myth is that they're actually good owners. Because some people still believe that, and some people still believe that they are commercially competent. Barcelona just hit £1 billion revenue, or $1 billion revenue, whilst being $1 billion in debt, which is it's kind of wild. Why can't Manchester United do that? Manchester United had a lead on all of these clubs prior to 2005, and we've been asleep at the wheel. A lot of that is refinancing the Glazers' debt. It's not the club's debt, it's the Glazers' debt. But they put it on the club. So the club owns it. If they fail to make their payments over a long enough period of time, bank owns Old Trafford. Sells it off for whatever they want. Some say that might be the best thing that could happen to us, and I wouldn't tend to disagree with you, to be honest.
So there you have it, guys. That is all from me. You'll be hearing from me later on today. I'll get a video into you guys with my reaction on the game, but make sure you're keeping it locked for what is hopefully going to be an epic watch along. Get your likes, comments, shares, get all your super chats in, get joining if you can, get on stretfordpaddock.bigcartel.com, and for now, kick back, put your feet up, get your telly on with the game, get your tablets or your phones or your other screens with the Watchalong and enjoy with the lads. Come on, United. Manchester United.
JF Stretford Paddock, that's Ronaldo Brown. This is Manchester United versus West Ham Watchalong. We've got all the pre-match build-up, including the team news, which we're expecting in around 13 and a half minutes. Is that right?
I think it's 13 minutes, 36 seconds.
See,
to be exact.
that's the sort of precision you get with that
numbers
boy,
don't fail me.
Ronaldo Brown. We've got about 673 people watching. Give us a like, hit that like button, get involved in the comments, let us know who you want to see start for Manchester United today as we take on David Moyes' team. Who you think will start? Go on, I'll start with you. Who are we going to see up front? Who's left? Is anyone left?
Earlier on, I predicted that it would see a front three of Greenwood, James,
Daniel,
and Diallo.
Diallo.
Do you know what I'm saying? But we've heard a little bit of murmurings, a little bit of rumours about the possibility that Rashford could somehow be fit. And this is, you know what this is? This is only fueling the conspiracy that Rashford plays 99% of the time injured.
I think, listen, in 40 minutes I could well have egg on my face, but I think Rashford will start. I think he's one of those who'll play no matter what if he can. And I think we're in dire straits, and he'll probably say to Ollie, stick me in. And there's sort of, I don't know how true these rumours are. There's rumours that the United medical staff gave Cavani the green light. They thought he was fit enough, but he didn't feel right in himself. I don't know how true that is. Get involved in the comments if you've heard any of them stories. I don't want to just make up rumours or add fuel to rumours, but these were some of the stories doing the rounds.
It's a weird one, that.
It is, yeah. I mean, you know, like I say, this is just a story doing around. It may be a load of rubbish, or there may be something in it. Do you feel with Marcus? Because he... we're not sponsored by them, by the way. It's like... twist all you want. Do you feel that with Marcus that he hinders himself and the team if he's playing when he's injured? Do you think he should just say, listen, I need to sit this one out, or do you think we need him?
Possibly. I started to assume that the way that Rashford has been playing so much in his career, apparently being hurt and his back issues, his shoulder issues, it does worry you a little bit. I don't want to jinx it about the actual longevity of his career.
Really?
Because if you think about Rashford, he's a very dynamic player. He's very quick.
Yes.
And that's a large portion of his game. His athleticism.
Yeah.
And being obviously a bit of a workhorse amongst other things. But the fact that he started off so young as well, 18-ish, getting in the squad, a little bit younger than that actually.
Yeah.
And playing injured so often and having a back and shoulder issues, it just makes you feel like there's a possibility he could burn out a little bit sooner than we'd like in the future. I know I'm just kind of projecting a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's my kind of worry. It's all well and good now, having him play, hurt, trying to do the best for the team.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel we need to manage him a little bit better.
You need to, I know what you mean, because he is that type of player. He will run through brick walls. We've seen it against the Scousers a couple of seasons ago. He was limping about, okay, we'd already made 3 substitutions there, so he couldn't make any more. But he's that guy that will always want to play and does play. We saw against PSG, we had a shoulder injury. Apparently needs surgery on his shoulder as well. That's been a long-standing injury. We've got the Spurs versus...
Yeah, Lamella's been sent off.
I just thought, sorry, I was actually a little bit distracted there. We've got the Arsenal-Spurs game on in the background if anyone really cares about it. And it looks like Eric Lamella has just been sent off for... it's one of those. I mean, he's sort of put his arm out.
He's like stiff-armed someone.
Is it Kieran Tierney who's on him?
Tierney's held his face when he's been hit there.
I know,
he's
it's
gone
very
for
soft.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's...
But you know what you might say?
He's meant to be Scottish as well.
Yeah, but do you know what you might say with Lamella there? Karma for what he did to Martial. Do you remember?
Yeah, Lamella is due one, isn't it?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think about the team. Who do you think should start? Who you expecting to start? What your score predictions are as well. We heard from some of you there on the video before me and Ronaldo came on. And today, don't forget as well, we are sponsored by One Football, the One Football app. You can see that between me and that boy Ronaldo. Gives you all the match updates, give you transfer news. It's got a section on it which is called like rumours, where it rates some of the, or gives you the info on some of the transfer rumours doing the rounds. So United could be in for Haaland, people like that. You can go and check that out. not just Manchester United news, obviously, it's got all football news as well. It's also got that AR technology we've been messing about with upstairs, haven't we, where you can get these sort of, almost like your tactics board out on the table. I don't think you were, me and Alison were the other day. Joe, you get like, where it's like you've got the players there on the table, you know, when you use that AR actual. There you go, we've got it there. There you go, you can see.
Sounds fancy. Oh, automation.
Yeah. We'll have to let you have a go next time. And it's free as well. The price is right, it's free. So make sure you are checking out the One Football app. There's a link in the description. So whether you want to check out United news, match updates, injury news, all that sort of stuff. If you want to, you can't be bothered watching Arsenal versus Spurs, you can get all the updates from the game that's on at the minute. Check it out. Link in the description for One Football. Hit like as well for people watching. I see Adam McCullough, who's not here today, unfortunately, but he's in the comments. Big shout out to Mako. Diallo.
Go on.
Discuss.
You want to see a madness? I know.
A madness Diallo. I like it. Go on.
It's a bit mad. But I'm just using all the puns that
yeah, he's getting them out there. You're turning into
madness. But hopefully.
Dad jokes.
Nah, he looked sharp though when he come on. He has definitely got a bit. You can tell that he's got a little bit of maturing to do, a little bit of growing to do.
Yeah.
And you can tell that there's a real player in there and there's a lot of potential. And he just offers that little bit of spark. You know, that youthful exuberance. You know, when you're a little bit, you'll try something a little bit different. You'll be a bit, I don't know, a little bit of a spark that sometimes I think we've been missing, especially with a few of the 0-0s that we've had lately. I don't think these goals been spoken about enough, I think the more and more I look at that goal, the harder it looked.
This was the chip. If anyone didn't see this goal, I don't know what you've been doing, but you didn't. It was Bruno with a little ball over the top, wasn't it? Diallo timed his one to perfection, and he does that sort of Chicharito style back header flick type thing, which is, it's not an easy skill to do, and he gets it absolutely spot on. And that sends us 1-0 up. It's just a shame that it wasn't the winner. Because that would have been a perfect sale for him, wouldn't it? Big debut for United. I think he's played football, I think it was his Europa League debut, whatever, his home debut, one of his debuts.
Definitely the longest amount of time he's got on the football field.
He's only played about an hour, hasn't he, in professional football? You've probably played more professional football than he has.
Definitely not.
But people in the chat saying, someone just said, Rashford is starting according to Jonathan Strager. Now, Jonathan Strager does often get the team news right. He's got sources, not like
flying a wall in.
Yeah, not like mayonnaise and HP, but actual sources. Not like people who just say, "Oh, I've heard that perhaps Fred might be starting today, or it could be De Gea, or it might be Henderson." I'm hearing.
I can imagine.
And then, you forget to turn the phone off as well, which is completely unprofessional. We'll be discussing that off camera later. So yeah, it looks like, according to Jonathan Strager, who is reliable, that Marcus Rashford is starting, which is what you predicted.
Because it's not, it don't seem too much of a surprise. Twitter being the number one source that it is.
There's certain people.
Being the tier one. That is
tier one. Yeah, there's certain people that will say, "Well, I'm hearing."
There's a lot of suggestions.
Don't shoot the messenger, but it could be right, could be wrong. That Marcus Rashford may or may not start. That's not.
I think there's a lot of that now, where you can.
Ross Murphy in the chat said, "Jay, lady friend calling, laughing emoji." My lady friend's calling in. We're having words.
I swear that was your phone though, that just went off.
No, how's it my phone in your pocket with your ringtone?
No, they don't know where it's come from. It could have been yours.
James
you blame shifted.
Blame shifted. Don't come at me with your fancy words. Sanson says tier 1 podcast team news. We will have the team news very shortly. When it's official, we don't want to give you just rumours and conjecture. When we get the official team news, we'll be giving it to you. And also on the tier 1 front, me and Ronaldo, we'll be getting the tier 1 podcast going again very soon.
What happened to that, by the way?
You act like you don't know, like you weren't privy to those conversations. We do it, but when the transfer window comes and there's lots of tier news, lots of transfer news, we'll start doing it again more regularly. What we didn't want to do, and we both made this, is just, there's not a lot of tier 1 transfer news going, but let's just get, Christian Falk on or Henry Winter or Romano on or the other tier 1 guests we've had on just to chat about the few rumours doing rounds. We'd rather wait until there is a bit more momentum gathering with certain stories closer to the transfer window. When we get to about 3 or 4 weeks before the transfer window, we'll start doing it every week then. If that's all right with you?
It'll be back and better. That's what I know.
Yeah, back and better. I like that. That's the spirit, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, don't forget to like the video as well. Just loads of people raving about Diallo. Diallo is the next... Oh, hang on. Someone's not raving about him. James Flannery says Diallo is going to be the next Djemba. Do you remember Djemba? Do you remember Djemba?
Scarcely, yes, I do remember him.
Well, you weren't missing out much. Decent player, but just wasn't United class. Certainly not United class under Sir Alex Ferguson when we were winning everything.
Name catchy, though.
They used to call them the Djemba twins. Is that a goal? No, it's been disallowed. Spurs have just scored. Sorry if you don't care about the Spurs game. We've got it on in the background.
Listen,
we're taking a passive interest in it.
I will refuse, as much as we don't. Tottenham not winning helps us in terms of solidifying top 4. You'll never catch me celebrating a Arsenal win.
He's offside there, isn't he? Was it Harry Kane? Yeah, Harry Kane, offside. I think even he knew it with the way he sort of peeled off. James O'Brien says, any chance of seeing Hugill or even McNeil on the bench today? Stranger things have happened. I don't know, it depends where you stand. Like Charlie McNeil and Joe Hugill, both smashing it at the academy and under 23 level. Some may argue that it's probably a little bit too soon for them to be in and around the first team, but you look at Diallo, similar age.
It's a huge step up.
I know, and especially for a striker as well.
Football. Especially as a forward, you are correct. I think forward, centre half, them positions are very, very... It's just... I think I've spoken about this before. 23's football doesn't always fully prepare you for Premier League first team football. And it does. It's a big step up. Because some people may argue that under 18s football is a little bit more competitive than 23s. Actually,
I think that's a good shout.
So you've got to bed these youngsters in, and the likes of Greenwood coming in and having the impact that he has. It's very rare for young players to actually do that. That's why you need to give credit when credit is due when these youngsters actually do that. Because the step up's not easy at all.
That's a good point there. You mentioned Mason Greenwood. What have you made of him this season? Because goal scoring wise, one Premier League goal. We're not going to pretend it's not great, but I feel like his performances of late have been better, and I feel he's been a bit unlucky in the sense that he's got a lot to do over on that right hand side, which isn't his preferred position. We're not exactly creating loads of chances, and I feel like there is a touch of second season syndrome, but I still feel, quite positive about Mason Greenwood. How do you feel about him?
I've been impressed with Mason Greenwood actually this season. Apart from his end product, his goals and assists have been down from last season. I think this season I've seen him look a little bit more comfortable. He's looked a little bit stronger. He seems like he's growing up a little bit. He looks like he knows what he's good at. And he's shown a little bit more ambition when he gets the ball. But I think the issue is what I've seen in recent weeks. I think the fact that he's not scored as many is starting to get into his head a little bit. And I think he's started to be a little bit like two sides of coin, where on the other hand he's being a little bit too ambitious in terms of he's shooting from everywhere, shooting from anywhere. He's slashing at things, and then I'm seeing it where he's being a little bit aggressive, where he's passing backwards and he's passing sideways, and he's not driving like I want to see him drive with the ball. So I think if he gets a goal or two, which I've been begging for it to happen, I think we'll see the best of Mason Greenwood. I think he's just had a little bit of a turbulent season, and I'm quite confident he'll come back.
Ronan Keeley in the chat here says, double standards. When it's Martial, it doesn't matter about his performances, but when it's Mason, it does. I don't know who you're referring to there. In terms of us, we always give Martial a lot of praise. Give him a lot of praise after the derby, where he didn't get a goal or anything, but he got man of the match, and I thought like he put in a good performance, and I don't mind him putting in a good performance as long as United win. My issue with Martial was sometimes when he wasn't taking his chances, United were losing. You look at the PSG game, look at a couple of other games where you think, had he taken those chances, it could have made a difference. But I've said it a million times, I'll keep saying it, I still believe in Anthony Martial, I still think he's got a future at Manchester United. He's just having one of those seasons, and we could do with him finding the net sooner rather than later, because goals haven't been in that much abundance, have they, across the front?
Yeah, they've dried up a little bit. You wouldn't think that we were, I'm not sure if we are now, but we're up there in terms of highest scorers in the league.
Yeah, and it's like...
I know a large majority of those came against Leeds and Southampton, but he's still got to score them.
Yeah.
So...
Like, you look at, I think, Martial's got 4 in the league, Mason's got 1. I think Rashford's got 9, which is obviously a bit better.
Yeah.
But, it's obviously like the Bruno show most of the time, isn't it? It's like, has he got 15 or something?
It has been, and...
All right, team news is out. Sorry to interrupt you there, Ronaldo. Your eyesight's better than me. I'll let you read that out. Go and read out the team for us. This is the team to face West Ham.
It's Henderson in goal.
Yep.
You've got Lindelof, Maguire, Rashford, Greenwood, Fred, Fernandes, James, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka and McTominay. What I'm going to look at in terms of how we should actually put in order of positions.
Go on, you can, you can work
I'll work it out. Right back, Wan-Bissaka, centre-half, Lindelof and Maguire. Luke Shaw, left back and midfield of McTominay and Fred.
Yeah.
You've got Bruno Fernandes, number 10, and then you've got a front three of James, Rashford and Greenwood.
So, front three of James, Rashford and Greenwood.
Yeah.
Who's going where in that? We'll get onto the subs in a minute as well.
I believe James would probably be on a... Do you think Rashford would be number 9 or do Greenwood would be number 9?
I'm gonna hazard a guess, and it is a guess, an educated guess if you want to call it that. I think we might see Mason down the middle today.
I believe so. I know Rashford does like to play up front, but I think we're going to see Greenwood.
I'd put Rashford on the left, James on the right.
So Greenwood up top, Rashford on the left, and James on the right. And you've obviously got a bench of Bishop, Grant, Alex Telles, Bailly, Tuanzebe, Williams, Matic, Amad Diallo, and
Shoretire, yes. So quite a young bench there when you look at the likes of Ahmad, Shoretire, Williams, Tuanzebe's not exactly the oldest. I mean,
we had Campo and Matic there as a young player.
We've got a few. You lot never start. We will give you the West Ham team news as well. If you can bring that up, Cam, if you get a sec, please. Obviously, West Ham without Jesse Lingard today. Of course you can.
Can I ask you a question on that?
You can ask me as many as you want.
What notoriety do you have? And actually, notoriety was a negative connotation. But what kind of acclaim must you have to walk into United as an 18-year-old and just say, I'm having my first name on my shirt?
Well, to be fair, you could be any level of standard of footballer getting a squad number at United and demand that. Really? Like, I don't think there's like, the manager's going to go, what do you want? Your first name. I don't want to take my surname because it's got negative connotations for me and, you know, falling out of my family and I don't use that name anymore, really. I want to use my first name. No, you're not doing that because you're not good enough. I just don't see that happening. I think, you know, or I like using my first name. I prefer to use that. Most people call me that anyway. So, yeah, that's, you know, no, not until you've scored 20 goals for United.
Fair enough.
I just don't know, mate. Right. You might be right. I mean, I remember Jordi Cruyff.
Big time.
Jordi Cruyff, he didn't want Cruyff on his back. He wanted Jordi because he didn't want Cruyff 14 on his back because Johan Cruyff, obviously his dad, was the most famous footballer, one of the most famous footballers ever. So he wanted to plough his own furrow. Didn't quite work out for him at Old Trafford. That's a different story that I won't bore you with. Go on, you can read out the West Ham team for me.
Or is your eyesight still not great? It's not.
Well, I've got a camera in the middle of it, and also you can get involved. You're a lot younger than me. Your eyesight's better.
All right. West Ham's lineup is Fabianski, Kufal, Diop, Dawson, Creswell, Johnson, Rice, Soucek, Noble, Bowen, and Antonio. Do you know? That looks like five at the back. And what I also like about...
Mark Noble in there. I thought he'd retired on it. Is he still going in?
Yeah, he's still going. I like that about West Ham's Twitter account.
Oh, was that West Ham? Go on.
Yeah, they actually put the names in like position order to an extent.
Who's on the bench for West Ham? Go on, just in case anyone cares.
Definitely can't see that.
Go on, you can do this.
Martin, Trott, Balbuena, Alves, Coventry, Lanzini.
You're saying this like this is like some foreign language or Coventry. What? The actual town or city of Coventry's in
that font and how far it is.
Yeah, West Ham. We've got the West Ham official app here. It is a terrible.
I feel like I'm at the opticians.
Oh, there's a picture of David Moyes on our screen as well. We don't want to see that. Yeah. So I mean,
a bunch of people we don't know on the bench.
Yeah. I don't know. You've heard of Lanzini. You've heard of Benrahma. He's decent, isn't he? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I said earlier, they're without Jesse Lingard, who has been on fire for them, but he isn't eligible to play today because he's still a Manchester United player. And even though Diogo Dalot got away with it in Europa, it's a different kettle of fish in the Premier League. So we won't see Jesse Lingard against us, which is pretty, you know, it's a positive because he's playing really well for him. And also, to me, it's just nonsensical having players play against their own team.
Yeah, I agree.
People in the comments talking about the 11, getting involved, talking about Rashford. Disciple of Ollie says, Rashford plays every game. He's like a Clydesdale. Being that plexiglass is strong, I'm not sure if that's a slight or compliment. I don't even know what that means, but, you know, I'll take that. You know, I'll read it out anyway.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Joshua Wesley says, Rashford up front tonight. Don't know, I think he might be on the left, but we'll wait and see, because with him and Greenwood, it's either or. Dan James isn't going to lead the line, but... Greenwood or...
He has played up front before as well, though.
I mean, Yeah, no, I
One of
like
the two.
Dan James and he's playing well, but I don't think he's going to play. If he plays up front, we've got severe issues. Daniel Gray says, where would we be without Rashi? That's a very good point, mate. He absolutely always gives his all. And if you took Marcus Rashford out of the squad this season, his goals and his assists and just, everything he's given us, I think we'd be nowhere near. Lewis Tuffer says, how are you, Jay? And you, Ronaldo? Do you think Greenwood can put a performance in tonight?
Yes, I believe he can, and I hope he does. I do think he's just on. He's teetering on that kind of breakout game, where he's gonna have a game where he gets a brace, he has a goal or assist, and he just has a man of the match performance. I think he's due one, and I don't feel like we've got to wait too long for it. And who knows, today might be that day. I hope so though, because I am rooting for him. He had a difficult start.
Do you know what though? Interestingly enough, he got his only Premier League goal this season against West Ham, didn't he? Earlier this season.
He might as well double up deja vu.
And it was a very good goal as well. He took it well. It was like a half chance that he,
I remember that.
Converted. Andy Tate just messaged me saying he's watching us live, so big shout out to Andy. He'll be back on the channel soon. Don't you worry about that. Is it still 2-1 between Arsenal and Spurs, if anyone cares? I think it is. I saw someone saying earlier.
Who cares?
That Arsenal that Spurs hit the post. I know, but there's a passing interest, isn't there? Because Spurs aren't that far away from us. I don't think we can just pretend that top four is all wrapped up.
I swear if Arsenal win, they go up to 10th from 10th. I swear.
I was going to say how the mighty have fallen, but they've never been mighty. How the mediocre have plateaued.
But I did say, I don't know if people agree. I think for us to be happy with Arsenal to carry on being terrible, I want them to qualify for Europa League because I think that's what's affected them over the years, being in that competition. So really, really hope that they qualify for Europa again next year. Thursday nights affects their weekend games and they carry on being terrible.
Yeah. We'll see. Sometimes me and you disagreed a little bit. I didn't. I said I think sometimes Europa can give them a little bit of a lift. So was it Olympiacos they played in tonight? Was it Olympiacos? I can't remember. But yeah, sometimes they're having a bit of a time of it in the Premier League. They go play in the Europa League. People like Nicolas Pepe, for example, have a good game, get a goal.
Start padding there.
Yeah, but it still gives them a little bit of a boost that they can carry on into the league. But I get where you're coming from. Sometimes Thursday night, Sunday games can do you in. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think about the team, your predictions. A lot of chat about whether it's Rashford or Greenwood, who's going to be in the number 9 position today. What do you think of the midfield? Pretty happy with that midfield. Fred McTominay. That's usually the midfield that usually goes with that only for the bigger teams. I don't, and would you class West Ham as a bigger team? What are they, 5th? They're thereabouts. So they are rivals for the top 4.
They're definitely solid. Very solid team.
Give us your score predictions as well. Yeah. Someone in the Brad Sundberg says 3-0 United 3-0 United win. Sorry. Jack Brady here with one for you. Answer this honestly. Who's better, Greenwood or Foden? Greenwood, well said, exactly.
Greenwood. No, you know what? Like that's not it's a question I've got to think about, innit? Because they're very two talented players. Biased aside,
think about it.
They're two talented players.
It's a no-brainer. Obviously, Mason Greenwood.
Greenwood,
the best player in the world.
Can't ask questions like that.
You can. I mean, you got to remember as well. All right, there's only a 2-year age difference, but that's a big 2 years. Like from when you're 18 to when you're 20, what was Foden doing when he was 18 to what he's doing now? He's absolutely blossoming now.
Good point.
What will Mason be doing when he's 20 years old?
Mason Greenwood in the City team, God forbid.
Mate, I tell you what, if that happens, I'm giving up. Seriously,
I think he'd be fairly prolific.
Salford rugby league team.
I think he'd be fairly good. So that definitely helps with the players that Foden's playing with.
Exactly. Yeah. Philip Glover says 3-1 United. Yeah, don't forget as well. I don't want to labour the point. It's finished at the Emirates 2-1 to Arsenal. How many times did we see?
Arteta's very happy there. He's celebrating going 10th.
Do you know what though?
So,
I don't mind this. I don't mind people celebrating big, wins. They've just beaten a derby rivals. Do you know what I mean? Because you'll see that people will say, "Oh, like you did," but I know you're only taking a minute. But it'll be all over socials going, "Look at him celebrating in 10th for You know what? You've won a derby. Yeah. You're gonna celebrate. Do you know what I mean? Like, give him I'll allow him that one. But like you said, it still keeps him 10th because they are shite. Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you about Phil Foden. Do you remember all those games where he came on like 88th minute, 89th minute, like for about a season? He had that, didn't he? That patience and that time to develop. Mason, it's like, came in for the back end last season and now he starts almost every game this season.
That's what...
It's been
it's a weird one,
mate,
he's been thrown right in. But I do remember the early days of Mason Greenwood where a lot of United fans wanted him to play loads, and Solskjaer was kind of shielding him.
That's a good
and
point.
actually made him get into the team quite steadily over a decent period of time when he had a lot of excitement about him through the academy. Solskjaer did manage him pretty well and didn't put him straight into the team. And now people have gone the flip side and said, we played him loads too early. So you can't have it both ways. I think do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think there's been a lack of investment this season, and it's shown. If we'd have bought Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood wouldn't even be. We could have rested him a lot this season.
But what's about?
He could have played a dozen games this season instead of having to play almost every game because we ain't got a right winger.
But what about that talk that we had in the summer where every time that Greenwood did something good, we had this thing where, United now don't really feel like they need Jadon Sancho as much because of Mason Greenwood's development and. You remember those stories?
Yeah, mate, the stories are coming out, and I think the club might have been behind him when he looked at him and thought, we ain't going to get Jadon Sancho, so let's big up Mason Greenwood and make it sound
let's big up Mason Greenwood to make it seem like our interest is done.
Yeah. I mean, it's either way, like, the idea that you can rely on an 18-year-old to play out a position and you've got aspirations of challenging for a title is nonsensical. It just is. And it's like, it's not fair on him and it's not realistic towards... what should have been what could have been a title challenge, really.
Yeah.
So I just think, I think we've done him. A disservice there.
Stop comparing these youngsters and just happy that they're all playing for England, I guess.
Well, I'm not happy about that. I'd rather, I'm not. I don't care. But you can't stop comparing him. Someone else is saying, is Mata injured? I don't know what's happening with Juan Mata.
Don't matter.
I think he done that.
That was accidental.
Get out.
That was actually accidental.
I expect better from you. That's the sort of dad joke
that was accidental.
All right, I'll let you off.
If I meant that, I'd say.
Right.
That was.
He's if you didn't hear that, he just said, "What did you say? It don't matter." That was it. Kills Ramdeen Leslie says, "Why does Ollie overplay Rashford?" Injuries, my friend. If you look at that bench, how many strikers have we got on that bench? Well, you've got Shoretire.
I don't get that.
You've got Diallo, who's not really an out striker.
Overplays
You've got
Rashford.
attackers, teenage attackers.
Who else have we had?
He's got no choice really. Hit the like, guys, lads and lasses, get involved. Hit that like button. Let us know what you think about the team. Let us know what you think your score predictions are. Let us know what you think about West Ham. Are you worried about them? They are doing well this season. A lot of that recently has been down to Jesse Lingard. Do you think that's going to be a massive miss for them, or do you still think we need to be wary of the likes of Souček, of the likes of Antonio, who's the other lad as well that played well against us at the London Stadium? Is it Bowen?
Bowen.
He taught Tellers a new one, didn't he?
Yeah, he was good. And the issue is, I'm not going to jinx it, but I'm not a huge fan of Mikel Antonio as a football player.
Yeah.
But as a brute / rugby player, he's pretty good.
He falls into that handful category, doesn't he?
Handful category.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a handful him.
I do worry against, him against our centre-halves in terms of, I feel like he's the type of forward that they do struggle against.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I do reckon.
I'm going to be honest with you, right? You're right, I'm not disagreeing with you, but if, as a Manchester United centre-back, you can't handle Mikel Antonio, you won't drop him. That is not, no disrespect to the guy, he's a good footballer.
Is he?
Yeah, in sort of, the grand scheme of things, is he a good footballer? Yes. Is he elite? Is he a Champions League type footballer? Yeah. No. So that's not good enough that if you can't handle someone like that as a Manchester United fan, you've got problems, but I get where you're coming from. Simon Peach just quoted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on Marcus Rashford speaking to MUTV. Said, very happy with that, of course. Anthony couldn't make it. Edinson didn't make it. So to have Marcus available is a big boost. He's been important for us all season, and we missed him on Thursday as well. I don't want to start rumours or add fuel to the fire. I was talking earlier about this idea that maybe Cavani...
Look at a comment below.
What's that say? Didn't suggest he could have... Yeah, it says, right, because there was these stories doing the rounds, these rumours, stories, whatever you want to call them.
Read between the lines.
That Edinson Cavani had been approved to play by the medical staff at Manchester United, but he himself said he didn't feel 100%. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there has said, very happy with that, of course, talking about Rashford returning. Anthony couldn't make it. Edinson didn't make it. So to have Marcus available is a big boost. I might just be looking into that a little bit too much and, putting my tinfoil hat on. But is that a slight suggestion that Sorry?
I don't think it's tin up full heart. I think you
Do
just
you think that is a suggestion that maybe Edinson was available but just didn't fancy it?
Possibly, because if you do look at that quote and you do a little bit of a pedo on it, a little bit of a...
A little bit of what? A little bit of what?
Pedo.
A pedo?
Have you not done English at high school level?
Many years ago, my friend.
It's that point evidence... What is it, Cam? Do you remember, surely? Point evidence explain the...
Right,
deduce
okay.
link. Yeah.
Right, all right.
So...
Pedal?
Pedo.
Right, I thought you said pedo. I thought you
Someone
said
in the comments is bound to know what I'm talking about.
I thought, right, if you do know in the comments, I mean, so the sad thing is I went to university in journalism and I didn't even know what he's talking about. I'm not disputing he's right, I'm just saying...
P-E-E-D.
People in the comments saying you definitely said pedo.
No, I didn't.
Right.
No, I didn't. It's P-E-E-D-L. It's not.
Right.
But anyway,
my
point is, if you look at it, the quote itself, he did differentiate by saying Anthony couldn't make it, Edison didn't make it.
Peel,
so,
right, P-E...
Oh, Peel. Oh,
P-E-L, paragraph. Point, evidence, explain, link.
Yeah,
there you go. So it's not pedo, like I thought he said.
I thought there's a D for development.
He thought there was a D. So between the two of us, we've got nowhere, and we've had to rely on producer Cam to read it out to us, which is a new low point in my life, when I can't remember basic English. It's what?
I think it's just P-E-E, point, evidence, explain.
Oh, point, evidence, explain. Well, P. Right, this is great viewing for people at home who just joining us. I apologise profusely for this absolute nonsense we're getting into.
How does P sound better than P? Now, I'm not going to compare.
We're currently arguing whether it's pedo or P on this whole thing. The reason this started was, is Edinson Cavani fit or is he just decided he don't want to play for Manchester United? Someone, Tim Forbes says, never change Ronnie, never change. I don't think he could if he wanted to, bless him. We love Ronnie just the way he is. I can't read out some of these comments. We've gone on a ride. I need to have a look. Honestly, hit the like button.
Hopefully it's nothing about the royal family.
No, don't make it. Stop saying things out loud. Don't encourage it.
Pizzagate.
Yeah. Oh, someone else not happy about this. The thing about, VDR says, the thing about Ollie that rankles is his low-key cowardice. Man never takes risks. Sir Alex was a maverick. You've got to sort of look under the balance of that. Now, I'm old enough to remember Sir Alex's first few years, and I'm not saying he's the same manager as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's not. He's, Alex Ferguson. No manager will ever be as good as him, in my honest opinion. He's the greatest of all time for a reason. But there was times when Fergie would play his most experienced players, the players that you'd expect him to play, especially when he was in his first few years, when he was just finding his feet. His new signings come in, right? They start every week. Do you know what I mean? And it was like his third season, I think, when we won the FA Cup, things started to click a bit more. He brought in some youngsters, the whole Fergie's fledglings, but it wasn't like people think with the class of '92. Fergie just went, grabbed the youth team and threw him in. He didn't. For a few years, you think you had like Russell Beardsmore, people forget about him, Lee Martin, Mark Robbins. The youth players coming through.
How far back are we going now?
Late 80s, early 90s. Were few and far between. You then just had this absolute massive wave of these 5 or 6 players who were world class, who more or less all came in the same year. Yeah. So, I think sometimes it's a little bit harsh to say that Ollie doesn't take chances. I think he has done, and we've called him out on when the teams are announced. I've seen people in a bit of a meltdown on Twitter going, why has he done this? Why has he brought James back in? Why has he done this, that and the other? And he's got a result out of it. Solskjaer also on David De Gea says that his quarantine period ends today. I hope he can resume training tomorrow. So looks like David De Gea could be back in the side soon. In the corner of my eye as well, see Freddy Quinne has joined us. He's going to be on the watch-along. It's going to be Freddie, Joe Smith and myself taking you through all the action.
And do not fear, he's got a bigger hat this time.
He's got a what? Freddie's got a bigger hat? What's that a reference to?
I think it's an inside joke between.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know. Alfie Wood says, when will Hugill get on the bench? We were talking about this earlier, weren't we, about Joe Hugill and also Charlie McNeil's being thrown into...
Realistically, we can't answer that, can we?
Yeah, I think maybe end of the season, if it's a match that no longer matters, you
those
might
ones,
see.
yeah.
You know, one of them ones. Fergie used to do that, didn't he? Do you remember, I remember in 2000, right, we won the league in April. I think it's 2001, sorry. We won the league in April, and we played like Derby at home and got beat 3-0 or something, and Charlton got beat, because he just played like loads of kids, and you look like some of the people he played, Like, they basically never played for United again. He just gave them all the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, go and have a go. We did it against Sheffield United as well, I think. Not Sheffield United.
Didn't we have a
West Ham.
game like that against Cardiff when they were in?
Yeah,
like,
he used to. When it was like the league's done, Fergie was never one of them. Like now, managers like Pep or whoever, like they love the stat. They want the 100-point mark or you know what I mean. Like they want to get the greatest ever points. Like, Fergie didn't give a toss about that. As soon as he thought the league was done, or as soon as it physically was done, he'd get the youngsters in. He'd give them a game.
You've won the league.
Yeah,
give the players a rest.
Yeah,
go have a holiday.
He'd do stuff like that, and I like that because it gives certain players, one or two of them, you know, might end up going on to play for the first team, but a lot of them, that was the only sort of sniff of the game they'd get. In the super chat, JH Gaming says, what was Moyes' best result as Manchester United manager? I know my personal answer, but I'll let you answer yours.
All of them that he won.
It's not many, not really, not many.
There weren't many.
Was it Leverkusen we beat 5-0?
I don't know if that would be it. Proper thinking back to which one would be my absolute fave.
There wasn't a lot, but I'll tell you a good one, right, that really got my hopes up. And this sounds proper too, Bob, but it was at the time, the 1-0 win over Arsenal in the league at Old Trafford. I think it was just before the international break, and I began to think maybe he's getting it right. Maybe things are going to change here.
I just don't have that many good memories.
I hope
about
the fan camps from that day have been deleted, because if I'm on one, I probably said something stupid like, "Stay with him. We'll challenge for the title again this season."
No, I was never too on board with the appointment. I don't remember.
No, I wasn't.
His
But I
reign
tried
too
to
much.
convince myself, you know, get behind him and all that stuff. Those words.
So
by
the very few games I did win.
You beat the. Was it? Did we beat the Scousers in the League Cup? Was it Scout? Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But what we do know is, I think McCullough tweeted it, is that David Moyes, after we won a league and then we got David Moyes as manager, and then basically, remember what happened?
Well,
he had the shit season or whatever, just after winning the title, and but it was still a better start or a better season than Klopp this season.
There you go.
So
facts.
Klopp,
David Moyes is better than Klopp. You cannot argue that. Ronaldo Brown with the facts there. Simon Cowie in the super chat says, I say Ollie needs time. Needs the time like Ferguson to rebuild and fix the club. Man United win 2-0 and 2-1. I mean, that's fantastic. 2 wins for the price of 1 there. Cheers, Simon. Is there any update, says Ronan Keeley, on Paul Pogba's injury? Not that I've seen. If we do hear anything, we will let you know, but I've not heard any updates so far. Joe was talking about it. It's becoming a slight little bit of a mystery, because it was going like 3 weeks. And I don't want to pouring petrol on in these sort of fanning the flames of rumours, but it was like, it was back in 3 weeks. Then it was almost like, well, I'm not going to say when he's been back. I don't really know. And it's like, well, wow, what's going on? And now you start worrying. Oh no, it's not going to be one of those, is it? Like, it edges towards the end of the season, and we're still like, where's Paul Pogba? Because regardless of what you think of Paul Pogba,
do you think it could be?
You need him.
Do you think that could be similar to what the Cavani situation?
What do you mean?
Because of Cavani's Boca Junior link.
Oh right, I don't know. I think Paul Pogba as well. I think you might not agree, but I always think Paul Pogba wants to play football. I never buy into this idea. He's when he's injured.
Yeah, and he's given us good moments. Obviously, I always hark back to his double against City.
Hey, that header and the other one as well.
What year was that again?
Blue Air, 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it April 2018? Was it?
I feel like it was longer ago than that. Probably about that. It feels ages ago now.
It does feel a long time.
There's colour there.
They had all the fireworks and everything ready to go, didn't they? Hey, and then we beat him. Started race back on, and we lost to West Brom next week, and they won it. In the chat as well, Richard Adgel says, what injury has Donny got? UTFR. I don't know, what is it? I don't know. Like another one who we could do with, who's sort of missed his chance as well, because you feel like with Pogba out and with games coming thick and fast, now Donny van der Beek could be getting a few games, but he's been out of contention. And at a time when a lot of people were sort of saying, oh, he needs more games, this move has not worked out and all this other sort of stuff. And I was like, patient, he'll get his chance, and now we probably would get his chance, but he's got injury issues as well, so we've not seen him for a little while. Jay Bajani says for the City 3-2, it was March the 20th, 2018, on my birthday. What a birthday present. Fantastic result. 2-0 down and 1-3-2 at the Etihad. Happy days. Nasser,
birthday soon again then, isn't it?
Oh, yeah? Next week? Well spotted, yeah.
Happy birthday. Prematurely, because I'll probably forget.
Yeah. There you can see the table as it stands. Leicester had a massive win today. Was it 5-0? Sheffield United are easy though. Everyone beats them, don't they?
Well, they're shocking them.
Yeah.
Apart from when he played us.
Exactly. There you can see the table there. Sponsored by OneFootball, as I mentioned earlier. If you're not doing so already, download and check out the OneFootball Football app. It's free to download. There's a link in the description. And not obviously you're going to get the Premier League table on it, aren't you? You're going to get more than that. You're going to get all the latest team news. You're going to get transfer rumours as well. All the latest sort of injury updates. It's got news from not just Manchester United, news from other clubs as well. Plus, it's got some great AR technology, so you can act like you're in your own little TV studio when you're going through your tactics and all that sort of stuff. Make sure you're checking that out. It's a really good app. We've all been using it. We've all downloaded it at Stretford Paddock, and we can't get enough of it. So have a look at the One Football app. The link is in the description. Someone else is saying now people getting into the birthdays. Amaya Kakali says, on my birthday, we won 2-0 last March. There's a new thing in here, right? Everyone has the phone on.
Basically, Freddie is what?
It's alright, Freddie. Ronnie keeps doing it as well.
Was that your ringtone?
Yeah, that was Freddie with his ring. His ringtone was better than yours, so he can send that over.
He had like some Powerpuff Girl ringtone or something like that.
The Mancalorian says, James over Diallo, lol, I say no more. I'm going to say something about this, though. I have read that out.
What's he called?
He's called the Mancalorian. I think it's Is it Mandalorian? Is that a Star Wars
the Star Wars
thing? And
thing.
he's changed it to Mancalorian, as in Manchester.
Star Wars geek.
As in Manchester United. Listen, I used to like Star Wars when I was a kid. No, I'm not having a day. I'm not. He might be. I don't know if he's a kid or an adult. I know a lot of people like the Mandalorian and all that Star Wars. But once Return of the Jedi was the last one I was into.
All right.
Someone else is saying, Leon says, my birthday is always on international break. It's sad. Never mind. There you go. That'll cheer you up. On the
don't say never mind like that.
On the Diallo thing.
Oh, right,
on the Diallo thing. People saying, why is Diallo in? Or someone was commenting, why is James in instead of Diallo? I can't remember. This kid's played about 2 hours of professional football. So I don't know if throwing him in for a half on Thursday and then straight in on Sunday is necessarily the best way to
he's not like
bring him into the Premier League. We'll get the opinion of Freddie and Joe and the other guys as well, what they think about it. But I get it. You've got a young player. He's exciting. He's played well. He's just got a goal. Get him in the team. But then you think you do have a bit of a duty of care to sort of think, hang on a minute, this kid's not played much football. Let's not just sort of throw him in at the deep end.
You do got to take it as like the person he'll be playing against as well. Obviously, he plays right wing. One of West Ham's best players is their left back, which is Aaron Creswell.
This is right. IQ Insane 2
I've not seen any comments so far.
He's 32 million. He's 37 million for fuck's sake. Right. I get he's cost a lot of money. I think a lot of it is with add-ons.
Have we paid a lot of that now?
But I don't think that just that makes him fit enough to play 2 games in 3 days. I might be wrong. You might disagree. Obviously, a lot of people do. Someone asking who's on the watch along tonight, lads. It's myself, Joe Smith, and Freddy Quinne will be on it. And also, after the game, we'll be hearing from Adam McCullough. He's going to be giving us his reaction to the game as well. He'll also be hearing from Ronaldo and a few of the other usual suspects. Andy Tate's been messaging him. We'll see if we can get him on as well. Someone else, Bartek Bresky, says, as always with a lot of fans, the player that doesn't play, or the players that don't play, are always better. I mean, I think there's an element of that. You know, when we see the team, you get that little reaction. Why is he not playing? Why is he not starting? But I think with the injuries we've got, no Cavani, no Martial, no Paul Pogba, no Van der Beek. Is there any surprises in that team?
Not
for you?
Not really at all. I think with football fandom, when it comes to team selection or anything along them lines, there's always going to be someone unhappy with the lineup. Do you know what I'm saying? There's always going to be someone saying, why is he not started? Or why is he playing? You're never going to satisfy everybody, unfortunately. But I don't think he could really go better than the lineup that we actually have right about now. I think it might not fill you with confidence because of the couple injuries that we do have. But as of now, and the squad that we do have, I don't think we can go much stronger than we've put out today.
This might be my favourite comment. I can't find it now. Oh yeah, this is from Rick. It says, "Come on, you Irons, and what, you red mugs." Hello, is that West Ham?
West. Go chat to Will.
Yeah, Russell Wonderby says that bench doesn't compare to City's or Chelsea's, does it? It doesn't. I'll be honest with you. At the minute, we are down a little bit to the bare bones. There was a time when early in the season, me and you were chatting, and it was like, looks at our bench, and at one time there was Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Brandon Williams, Axel Tuanzebe. It was a nice Matic.
I think bench now. I think we've been a bit reactionary, but I think with our full 11 of not full 11, our full assortment of players in terms of no one injured, we can field a decently strong bench.
Yeah. Well, you think about it.
So it's like it's just about the injuries.
Because either way, you're going to have Eric Bailly or Victor Lindelof on your bench.
Yeah.
Either way, you probably have Alex Tellers on there. You're going to have either Cavani or Martial on your bench.
Van der Beek, Pogba.
Yeah, Van der Beek or Pogba on your bench. Probably Van der Beek. Yeah.
So
when everyone's fit, and you have a look at City in a minute, I think
yeah.
even Nathan Ake's back for them. I think they've got like no injury worries.
They just spend bucket loads.
But I'm not going to disagree on one thing. Like, they have a stronger squad than us, and we need to invest. Because
we do.
Because I know money's not the answer to everything, but it is a big part of modern football. And
I know because people criticise City in terms of
enough.
They've spent this and this amount, and they just fuckloads of money or whatever. Apparently, over the last 5 years or so, the net spend between United and City haven't been that different, which is the sad thing.
I read somewhere like I think to be honest with you, right, I think in the last 5 years there isn't that much. Even when you say there isn't that much, I think it's still about 190 million. Which, when you think about it, right?
No, I think it was fairly close together. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but
if you think about it, let's say the difference was the signing of the money for Jadon Sancho. That for me is worth maybe 6 or 7 points this season, and all of a sudden it's a different conversation. You're a lot closer. And also, people go the last 5 years. Let's not forget, since 2008 to now, City have just gone berserk since the money came in.
It's true.
It's all right going the last 5 years, but they didn't buy Aguero in the last 5 years.
You know what them
De Bruyne did, they?
Them blue guys have done as well. Them Smurfs. Well, like they just throw, rather than going 80 mil, 90 mil, 100 player for a player, they just pay 50 mil for everybody, which is still loads. Because people go, oh my days, Cancelo, what a signing. It's a £60 million right back. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know.
They played someone in the FA Cup, like non-league team, and they brought on like Cancelo. And the commentators are going, Pep's a genius. Brought on Cancelo, changed the game. Look at it and you think, he's brought on a £60 million player against a non-league team. And you're acting like he's just, turned water in the wine. I get,
do you know what?
Guardiola's a good manager.
All that needs to happen is
that sort of reactionary nonsense when you look at the resources he's got, and when he's playing against a non-league team in the FA Cup, then what the fucking hell do you expect?
That's what I'm saying. All we need to know is we have a strong summer. I think we one strong summer away from being set. But the issue is with United is I think we get rid. It's not like we don't just have one of those summers where we get a load of players in and the expenditure's high. We always sell players as well, so it's like almost counterproductive sometimes, where we sell a bit of squad depth to get someone in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I agree. Someone saying it wasn't non-league, it was Cheltenham. What league are they in?
Same difference.
Are they, League 2, is it? League 1? Sorry, forgive me for that. Someone, Glenn Fletcher says, maybe we should stop getting top 4 to get Glazers out. Is that the answer? Would that happen? We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. It looks like the Glazers with him out of money they're making. It's never going to happen. Cameron Lucy in the super chat says, Jay, it looked like Pogba torn his quad, and the fact he pulled up straight away after kicking the ball means it was a bad tear. Could be a few months. Yeah, the West Ham game, the Everton game. He did, didn't he? He was playing really well in that game as well. He's playing really well, full stop. Anyway, we're going to go over to Freddy Quinne and Joe Smith, and I'll be joining them shortly for the watch-along as Manchester United entertain West Ham. That's been Ronald and Jay. We'll see over to the guys.
Hello. Hi, Freddie. How are you? A man that needs no introduction, Freddy Quinne, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, mate. You said hello like you were surprised.
Well, I was a little bit surprised because I thought we might play
literally over there.
I thought
you said we're going to go to Jay.
Yeah, but I thought we might play a little video first like we usually do, but we didn't, and that's fine. But I just caught me off guard slightly. You got your new hoodie on?
I've got my new hoodie on.
You can't see it at home, but he's got some new shoes on under the table. Actually,
Could I get my shoes out?
Yeah.
You want me to get my shoes out for the lads?
Because you've turned up today.
Okay.
You look like Instagram and TikTok have seen you well. Look at these. What do they call it? Some sort of check.
Do you know what? I am very surprised that I can get my leg up as high as that.
I'm impressed.
Genuinely.
Lockdown yoga classes have done well for you, haven't they?
Yeah, these are my new shoes that I got at Christmas, and I still haven't had a chance to wear them. So I thought I'd break out the fresh crepes.
As they say.
Yeah,
how you doing, Jay? You all right?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good, man.
With your orange juice, like you've had a McDonald's breakfast. And
I know. Yeah, I thought. Do you know what? I made this schoolboy error of thinking I had a Pepsi Max cherry in the fridge, and I didn't. So in meal deal, I got an orange juice, and now I'm gutted.
Classic schoolboy error. Some of the comments saying, "What are those in? What was it? Like sort of 2014 meme style?" Basically, a way to take the piss out of someone's shoes.
Oh, really?
But I think they look nice.
Oh, thank you, mate. I've got 2 pairs of them.
The exact same colour?
Yeah, the exact same ones. So I bought them off the internet, and then my missus had bought them for Christmas, and she hadn't told me.
Oh, right.
And
So you're on the same page then.
I tried to sell one pair on eBay, but I've tried to sell it twice now, and it's impossible to sell things on eBay anymore.
Really?
Yeah, everyone. The first time I sold it, someone was like, "Oh, my boiler's just packed in, so I can't buy your shoes." I was like, "You fucking."
Had you sold them at this point?
Yeah.
So they'd say, "Yeah, I'll pay 60 quid or whatever you want it for them."
Yeah, bit more.
Oh, okay.
Bit more.
Don't need to go into it. You're earning. It's fine.
And then the second time, the dude just never got in touch with me. So what I'm saying is the reason that I've come on here is if anyone wants to buy these fucking
What model are they?
shoes-
What model are they for anyone then size?
Oh, they are 9.5s.
Yep.
I'm selling. These are 10.5s. They are
his feet have
Nike
grown over lockdown.
Blazer Mid GT Pros.
Right.
They're pretty nice. I
And how
think.
much are you looking for them roughly?
Do you know what? At this point,
give us a ballpark.
At this point, I will usually, if you were to buy these, on the high street, they'd
Yeah.
be £1,000.
Yeah, but they have been sat in filth for the best part of 3 months, haven't they?
They've not even left the box. The box fresh, right?
okay, cool.
But for the people of Stretford Paddock, my favourite YouTube channel,
Yeah.
I will let it go for £70 plus postage and packaging.
How much are they in normal?
They're not really £1,000.
Oh, right.
I just said that so that it sounded like a bargain.
Oh, right, okay.
He's giving you a mates rate of more than the RRP. Right, let's move on to the team news. United there, basically piecing together what is a strong squad, or sorry, not a strong squad, strong 11, and then a woefully thin squad and bench, isn't it? What do you make of what we're seeing there, Freddie?
I'd kill to be woefully thin, so...
have you seen Freddie? He's woefully thin, and he's got too many trainers.
Mate, I just think injuries have hit us at the moment. But every team gets injuries. We get on with it. We don't moan about it. We're not fucking Liverpool. We just get on with it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you like the squad? Do you like that starting 11? Are you confident in it?
I think that's as good as we could have hoped for. I actually didn't think that Rashford was going to be back. I think he would have still suffered from his shoulder injury. And I actually reckon that he might well be playing through a bit of a pain barrier here. So we're not going to get 100% Marcus Rashford, I don't think. But what are our other options? Well, if Rashford wasn't playing, then our other options would literally only be having Greenwood up front and having to play Ahmad or Shoretire as a winger, and it's just too soon.
Yeah, I think it's definitely too soon. And I also, to your point about playing through the pain barrier, I think if Martial, two of Martial, Pogba and Cavani, I think if two of those three were fit, Rashford probably wouldn't have started tonight, just because he's almost certainly right on the cusp of being fit, isn't he? Because even up to the press conference yesterday, Ollie was saying, not looking likely for Rashford.
Yeah, it was interesting. We were reading all these comments to MUTV just before, about 10 minutes ago, whenever it was. There was these rumours going around that Cavani had been past fit by the medical staff but didn't want to play or didn't consider himself fit personally. And when the way Ollie worded it as well, it was like Martial isn't fit or couldn't play and Cavani didn't. It was like he worded it, we almost had to feel to that fire that maybe there was an issue there where Cavani had been past fit. But like Freddie was saying, the thing with Marcus Rashford is, if he's even half fit, he'll play. He's done it before. We've seen him limping about against PSG. He went into the game with an injury against the Scousers last 2 seasons ago. Went into the game with an injury against City. He picks up an injury and was playing the next week against Chelsea. He does it all the time, and sometimes to his detriment, because I guarantee if you don't have a good game today, there'll be loads of people on social media absolutely slagging him off and saying, can't wait for instance Cavani to come back, when one player potentially sat there saying, I don't feel up for it, another one is ready to do whatever he can to help the team out, and he'll be the one getting a stick.
Here's the thing, right, is I need to preface this with the fact that I actually really like Cavani. I think he's been great for United.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
even though it's when it came out this week or last week that it looked like he probably wasn't going to stick around past this season, I was kind of a bit gutted because I think he offers us a decent option up front. With that in mind, Cavani and Rashford are two players that are at very different stages of their career and have very different loyalties towards Manchester United. Rashford, United through and through. He's grown up here. This is his club, and he's still got 10 years left.
And
of his
he's almost
career.
at sort of talisman levels already for United, isn't he?
Totally.
So he's got that
Whereas Cavani has won everything that there is to win, practically.
Yeah.
He's 33, 34, and he's been at United for 6 months. So
when you put it like that, it's fair enough, isn't it?
But
I
when you
suppose?
put it like that, as if if he doesn't feel right, as if he's really going to rush himself back for West Ham. Do you know what I mean? And I know that they should do, because we're paying him 150 grand a week. They should fucking play if they're fit. But realistically, this is the modern footballer we're talking about. He's got no alliances to United. He probably likes it here. It's probably all right. It's a nice way to end his career. But he's not going to risk properly arming himself and finishing his career early just so he can play against West Ham. Whereas Rashford's in a totally different space in his career right now. He will put his body on the line. He will play through the pain.
But the flip side to that, though, Freddie, is what worries me is Rashford might not have the career he should have because he keeps doing this. Like, how many times is he going to do this, and how many times are all going to pick him? And we're not having this conversation for the first time. There's been so many games where after the game when Marcus has gone off injured or whatever, obviously he came into this game with an injury.
Like the Wolves game is a perfect example.
He
came on knowing he apparently knowing he had a fractured back,
vertebra,
and then he comes on, gets kneed in the back, and is out for 3 months. Or
and it's like this has got to hurt you as a player in the long term. And I don't mean melodramatic, but you saw it with Michael Owen. The injuries part. By the time he was 29, by the time we got him out,
by the time he was 27, to be honest,
he was a shadow of the former player he'd
toast.
been. This is a Ballon d'Or winner who, by the time he should have been his peak, was barely getting in Stokes' team, or whatever. And it's like that's what worries me about Marcus Rashford. He's gonna he could potentially break himself because he's just getting thrown in every. And maybe Ollie does need to do that thing of like saying, you know what, long term. It might hurt us in the short term because we need you, but long term, sit this one out.
But I would totally get that if we had options on the bench. But we literally have nobody or nothing. The only way that I could see, apart from that starting 11, the only way to make this squad competitive and to not have Rashford in the starting 11 would be to play with the back three and push Shaw to the left of a back three and then bring Tellers in as a wing back and then, sort of have it like that and have Greenwood up top.
We've seen Dan James as a sort of split striker in the
Totally.
past, haven't we?
So
So
you
if
could
you
do
did
it that
Greenwood
way.
and James,
So you could have essentially, 3 centre-backs and then Wan-Bissaka and Tellers as wing-backs and then McTominay and Fred and then Fernandes and then Greenwood and James up top. But again, Dan James has been in great form as a winger. You move in his position, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
Mason Greenwood has had a tricky season. It's not ideal. I think you need Rashford in this starting 11.
Do you see it starting like that, Fredo?
Pardon?
Because we were talking about Ronaldo. We thought Greenwood might be the one who's up top.
Yeah, the potential is James on the right, Rashford on the left, Greenwood down the middle.
Do you see Rashford leading the line?
No, I don't actually. I would say, again, James on the right, Rashford on the left, and Greenwood up top as well. The thing is, as well, is if you're a player like, for example, playing as a centre forward in that formation, you're tasked with holding the ball up and things like that. And if you are carrying an injury on your back and your shoulder, it's not really ideal to have bloody Craig Dawson and his big fat man tits backing into you for 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So I'd pop him on the left.
Very good. B Love Pollock 76 says, honestly, the match hasn't even started yet, and I still believe this is the best 3 for a watch-along. Thank you very much. Speaking of watch-alongs, this watch-along is sponsored by OneFootball. Now, OneFootball is a football app that basically covers everything you want from football. It's got league tables, it's got live match coverage, it's got stats, it's got lineups, it's got an AR lineup, so you can put the full team on your table, tap through them, get all the stats from everyone. You can check it out in our story on Stretford Paddock on Instagram. But the great thing as well about OneFootball, they've got transfer news, they've got videos, they've got pretty much everything you could ever possibly want from an app. The link is in the comments, so click on the link, download the app. It's free as well, so you can try it, see if you like it. I've had it for quite a while now, and I use it whenever anyone other than United's playing, because I'm watching United when United's playing. I'm checking OneFootball to see what the score is. So, yeah, very good app, innit, Jay?
Yeah, I love the rumours, mate. You know me. I'm all about
transfer
rumours into my veins, as the kids say. Forget all your tactics and all that stuff. I want the rumours. Yeah, and they're good for that OneFootball. Like I said, that AR technology that you lot can't stop messing about with upstairs is amazing.
Yeah, make sure you check it out again. Link in the description, and the link is in the comments as well. Thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring us. Let's have a look at West Ham a little bit. Let's talk about West Ham. They've done very well this season. We haven't got a graphic for West Ham, but we can talk about it.
I love the way Freddie looks at the screen. I was like, he did that twice though. He moved his hand.
That's going to be so like.
This is West
mate.
Ham. And let's have a look what you could have won.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not here.
There
but,
you go. Lots of facts
It's
about
a
West
speedboat, but we just don't have it in the back. Sorry. That was misdirection, that.
It was a bit of misdirection.
I
on my
thought I was
part,
going to move to the
apologise.
screen, come back, and you were going to be wearing like a hat or something
A
like
big
that.
West Ham hat. A big hammer on me. West Ham have obviously, I wouldn't say overachieved, but been very good this season.
I'd say overachieved.
Would you?
I would.
What is the definition? I know the definition of overachieving, but in your mind, when does a team go from being just a good team to overachieving? Because I think when Leicester won the league, they overachieved.
Yeah.
But now, to being third, I wouldn't say they're overachieving anymore. I just think they're a good team playing to their potential.
No,
What
the
would you
reason
say they still
I
are?
think West Ham. And do you know what? To be fair to you, you might have a point in the sense that maybe it's other teams underachieving. But I think when I look at that 11 or that team that West Ham have got, I think they're higher than they should be in the table.
Right.
I think they're getting the best, and it amazes me to say this, it's David Moyes as the manager. They're getting the very best out of those resources. I don't look at that team and think, oh, that's a team that should be in the top 5 wherever they are. But they are.
Mm-hmm.
So they're obviously playing well. And I think you look at, obviously Jesse's absolutely flying when he's got in there. Other players that we knew were decent, like likes of Declan Rice. Maybe you can throw Michael Antonio into there. I think he's an all right. He's a decent-ish striker.
Jared Bowen's another one.
Jared Bowen, yeah. Players like
good against
Souček,
United last
Bowen,
time.
I think are impressing me a lot more than I was expecting. So there's a slight thing where I think that team, what he's getting out of it and the results they're getting, is probably a bit better than what they should be.
I think that it is about time that we start putting some respect on David Moyes' name again.
Really?
Oh, yeah, mate. Look at what he's done. Look at where West Ham were before he took over.
Yeah.
An absolute joke club
Yeah.
run by idiots. And they are still run by idiots because they got rid of Sebastian Haller for about £6, even though they bought him for 40 million the season before.
Was it Ajax they got him from?
No, it's Ajax they sold him to. They
Oh,
got
was
him
it?
from Hoffenheim.
Very well done, if that's true. Could be completely false, but I don't know.
Can someone
any
check
better.
that up? I'm almost certain they got it from Hoffenheim. If not No, I think it might have been Frankfurt.
I was about to say Joe Linton came from
I
Hoffenheim,
tracked
didn't he?
Frankfurt because he
They
was up
must have
top
got
with
rid of some
Luka Jovic, I
dross.
think.
Very nice.
Is that true? Is that
Don't
right?
know. Don't know.
Oh, Google it.
I'll
Check.
Google it. I'll check it out.
Hoffenheim.
Why don't we
was-
let producer Cam do it?
Hoffenheim was Joe Ellington.
Hoffenheim.
Yeah.
Joe Linton, yeah, that's what I was just saying, yeah. 'Cause I was
Striker.
about to say they got them both from there.
Anyway,
right?
right.
Sale.
So the thing is he is massively outperforming with that squad. He's managed to bring in really good players. Bowen, great signing. Souček, fantastic signing that nobody wanted. 5 years ago, Thomas Souček was playing third division Slovenian football, training in between two tower blocks for like fucking FC or whatever, and then he ended up working his way from the bottom, and now he's a superb player. You know, he's great. Look what he's done with Mikel Antonio, and he did the same thing with Marko Arnautovic, taking wingers, repurposing them as powerful, quick, annoying forwards. Honestly, I think we've got to start. Do you know what? I had this conversation with a mate of mine who's a Leeds fan, right? And he's irritating me so much this season because he's taking every opportunity he can to wank off Bielsa. Like literally
they all
every... And I say that Bielsa is doing a good job. Not a great job. He's doing a good job.
Couldn't
But because
agree
he's
more.
foreign and because he's eccentric and because he sits on a bucket, people go, oh my God, he's a genius. Moyes is doing a better job than Bielsa.
Moyes is doing a much better job than Bielsa, I would say. The fact, like you said, West Ham have been like, do you know that territory where teams sort of get trapped in, and Newcastle are sort of in it now, and Burnley are in it to a certain extent, but almost by design. It's a slightly different case with
Just
Burnley.
stay up.
But Bournemouth were in it, and Sunderland were in it, and West Ham felt like they were in that. We can finish anywhere between 17th and 15th, but the whole season, our fans think we're going down. They're in that, like inevitably they will. But he's taken them from that to, if they win both of their games in hand, they'll go third.
The squad that they had, the absolute level of jokers they had. Felipe Anderson. Do you remember him for a little while? He's even getting a tune out of Yarmolenko, who looked like he wanted to be anywhere other than at West Ham.
Yeah.
He's managing to make these ragtag bunch of misfits that look like they were bought by a lad playing Football Manager. He's managed to turn them into an actual team.
Yeah.
They look great, and they're bloody hard to beat as well.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing, isn't it? They've lost 7 this season, which is the same as Leicester have lost less than Everton, less than Tottenham, who, obviously got one of the most successful defensive managers in history managing them, and they've lost two less games, lost less than Liverpool this season. They're doing really well, and today is going to be proper tough in it because we are literally as threadbare as it gets in terms of a team. Like we've got a starting 11 where you go, yeah, that kind of seems like a first team 11, but after that, there's very little to back it up off the bench. How tough do you think this game's going to be?
Very tough. I mean, it was very tough in the away leg, wasn't it? I know you know what I mean. The first game in the Premier League. I know we played him in the cup as well. That game that wasn't very easy. So it's going to be tough. Like you say, if Marcus was to aggravate whatever's been troubling him, or we do get one injury, then we are looking down to bare bones, aren't we? That is a little bit of a worry. I'm hoping that the fact that they've not got Jesse Lingard, who's been so good for him in the last sort of 6 or 7 games, whatever it's been, is going to hurt them and going to sort of upset them a little bit. But as Freddie's just gone through the team there, and this is what I was on about how he's. I wasn't really giving Moyes the credit. I was just saying they're overachieving. Maybe I've still got that bitterness towards Moyes that I just can't get the 2013-14 season out of my head. But you make a good case that he deserves the credit if they're overachieving. He's getting the best out of these players. So you can't just go, well, Jesse Lingard's not playing for him. You can't worry about him. We've seen it this season. We saw Bowen have Tellez on toast, didn't we, at the London Stadium? We saw the sort of problems they were causing us. We sort of got lucky a little bit, didn't we, with the ball going out and the goal that we got, and Mason, well, not Mason getting lucky, but Mason's finish and Pogba's finish. It was one of those where we had to be at our very best to sort of get all 3 points there. And we'll have to do the same here. And it's easy to dismiss West Ham. It's easy to go, it's David Moyes, it's Mark Noble as captain, it's Brexit FC, the rubbish. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to be careful of that because we've fallen into that trap too often this season. We did it against West Brom, we did it against Sheffield United, and then you end up being disappointed. And I think we have to be proper up for this one and not sort of dismiss it as, oh, hello, is that West Ham again? No, this is a team that, as you've just pointed out, potentially could end the month in 3rd place in the Premier League.
And do you know what? Brexit FC finished me. Brexit FC is so funny. Yeah. But look, the thing is, though, is we got to, you're not the only person that isn't putting enough credit on Moyes' name, because there's West Ham fans that aren't putting enough credit on Moyes' name.
That's mad, isn't it?
You're 5th. What the hell more do you want?
Not what more do you want? What more is possible?
Exactly.
It's impossible for them to finish any higher. They're not going to catch City because City are actually good this season.
But they're literally
they couldn't be any higher.
They're nutters West Ham fans, aren't they? I fucking think we should be top 4, to be honest with you. I think he's fucking bullshit.
It's that Academy of Football nonsense, isn't it? We won the World Cup and all this. Like Bobby Moore. What? Bobby Moore, who retired in 1970 or whenever it was.
Right.
What has that got to do with the Premier League now?
West Ham haven't looked good since Green Streets, and that's a film. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of the worst films ever as well.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember with that
Charlie Hunnam's accent? What is that accent about?
I'm forever blowing bamboos.
Dick Van Dyke look like Michael Caine. It's terrible.
Do you know what, though? This idea that we have of West Ham and Moyes, this idea that these are going to be a hard-working team to break down, and they're going to be industrious and solid. It's true to a point, but also you're overlooking the fact that they have got some quality players in this squad. They've got Fornals, who I don't think is in the squad today for whatever reason. They've got Lanzini. They've got Benrahma.
They're both on the bench, so they've got options on the bench.
They've got loads. And I tell you what, we don't have options on the bench today.
Not really. I think if, say, Fred was to get a knock, you bring on Matic, okay. But if you're having to rely on, say, like Sashora Tere or Diallo, then you're going to start. So we're not that I don't rate these lads, but the young lads unproven.
This is my worry: is we don't have a player on the bench that will change the game in the way that West Ham do. And so I think that this is going to be a really difficult game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if West Ham nicked it. No. Because they've got options on the bench to change this game. It's simple. We don't. What have we got? Amad Diallo and Shora Tere as our only attacking options. We've got 2 young lads who are 17, 18 years old. Diallo's had, less than 2 hours of competitive action, and Shora Tere got pubes like a year ago. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they're young, they're really young, and it's a lot to ask for them to come into a Premier League game against a top 5 team loaded with experience to come on and change a game. It's a lot to ask.
It's going to be very difficult. In the comments, by the way, there has been, for the last sort of 10 minutes or so, an auction for my hair, which has been going on. Have
you approved this, by the way?
I've just been politely monitoring it, and it does seem as though 1 and then about 30 zeros zillion for my hair seems to have been the winning mark there. So congratulations to whoever that is. I'll get that sent to you in the next couple of days.
You say that like you wouldn't sell it for that amount. You say that like you're not sold.
I say that like I don't think someone's got that. I would sell it for probably $1,000.
Would you?
No. I don't know what I'd sell it for.
You wouldn't shave it off for $1,000?
Yeah, I probably would.
All right, £900.
No.
What about
the reason I'm
what
stuck on
about,
$1,000?
what about 10,000 likes on this vid?
No.
20,000.
Yeah. all right.
20,000 likes on this video, shave your hair off.
Yeah.
Right, okay. You heard him, people. Get
I mean, it's not possible, is it? So
20,000 likes on a video, it is possible.
Oh, wait, no, it has to be during the video.
Yeah. 20,000 likes on this video. Joel will shave his hair off. Not at the end of the video.
I'll tell you one thing about me.
He will shave his hair off if you get 20,000 likes on this video.
You can say whatever you want about me, but anyone who knows me will tell you this is true. I am not a man of my word.
He's gone back on it already.
No, I haven't.
He started to think,
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Stranger things have happened.
No, if we get 20,000 likes on this video, if we get 20,000 likes on this video, I will shave my hair. But I must warn you, I am a liar. So
20,000 likes. He's panicking already.
I'm
Get
not
20,000
panicking,
likes, and we'll have that
panicking
conversation.
Skywalker
You didn't even get to
over
the end of the sentence.
I know, he
before
started to
backs
think,
out.
hang on a minute,
He
this could
backs out
happen.
mid-word.
Yeah,
I mean, it's literally impossible to get 20,000 likes on the video, and yet
It's
I'm
not.
still worried.
It's not. You can do it. Come on, gang.
I mean, there's
let's make it
substantially
happen.
less than 20,000 watching, as you
shave
probably
Joe's
know.
head. I don't want to be the only baldy on this channel. You can join me.
Okay.
Good lad. Solidarity.
We've got about 4 minutes till kick-off. Get your score predictions in the comments. I'll start with you, Freddie. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say this is going to be a tight game. I am going to say 1-1. And I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham nicked it, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't want to seem negative or anything like that. I just think West Ham are a good team. They've got a lot of options off the bench. And I actually also think that if we come away and don't win this game, it won't be the worst thing in the world. I think with that squad being as threadbare as it is, it's about getting through this game.
I honestly, I really like your perspective and maturity with that prediction, and the fact that like you want to win every game, but this is going to be tough. And I do think we've got enough, and I do think we should win it. I think our starting 11 is still much better than their starting 11, but it's going to be really difficult in it. And the thing as well that's happening now, and this is what happened last season, not only have you got your players who are out injured, you've got Pogba out, you've got Van der Beek, Cavani, was Rashford up until now, Martial now as well. But not only do you miss those players, but every other player has to play every week now. Fred has to play every game. Bruno has to play every game. Dan James is playing every game. Like, you're putting more pressure on the players who are fit because there's no alternative. So it's going to be really hard.
We're looking for a bit of magic. We're looking for a Bruno Fernandes piece of magic. We're looking for, perhaps a penalty. It'll be fine margins this game. And I mean, you say our starting 11 is much better than West Ham's, but I mean, realistically, I think there's one or two players from West Ham that get into United team.
Oh yeah, there's a couple I'd take, certainly in the squad.
Do you know what I mean? I'd definitely be having Declan Rice. I think he's superb.
Yeah, I'd have Declan Rice. I think he'd probably be the only one that would start for United.
Yeah.
But there's a few players I'd take it for the squad. Jay, what's your prediction? Freddie, go 1-1, was it? Your final prediction? 1-1.
My heart starts reeling my head as soon as it gets to kick off, but I still fancy us. I agree. I know what you're saying about Declan Rice. Maybe you could push one or two of us, but by and large, I think we should be too strong for him. I still fancy the likes of Bruno to do a job on him, so I'm going to go 2-0 United.
2-0. I'm going to go 2-1 or 1-0. I think we'll win, but only by one goal if we do. I mean, how good would it be if it's 2-0 up after 8 minutes? A lot of predictions in the comments. 4-0 blowout, says Clinton. 3-1 United. 4-0 West Ham 2-0. Yeah,
I think that's way too cavalier to think that we'll.
Do you think that David Moyes? You keep going on about David Moyes, and I get where you're coming, not disagreeing with you, but he has this thing. David Moyes, he's very, very respectful of the big teams. His record against the big teams is terrible.
Yeah.
Because he always seems to, even when he was at Everton for 10 years, I think they beat the big six away from home once.
Yeah.
He seems to go into this thing of like, oh, it's away. And
I'm scared.
Like, do you think, no, this is what I'm getting at. Do you expect him to approach that game like this? Or do you think he'll look at it and go, United are down to bare bones, we're flying, let's get at him?
I think he will come into this with absolutely nothing to lose because he knows that everyone expects West Ham to get beat. It's a free shot for him. Now, if you look at how he played against City, they got beat 2-0 by City, but they gave a good account.
That was a better performance from a David Moyes team.
And I think we'll see closer
team.
to that. I think that's what we're going to be in for here.
Nathan Bibby in the comments. Joe, ask Freddie where his hoodie's from.
Oh, okay. Here's a story. So this is a custom-made hoodie. I had a company get in touch with me from Instagram, and they said, "Hey, have anything from our store?" And I feel a little bit cheeky, so I just ignored it. And then they got in touch with me again. They said, "We will print literally anything you want on a hoodie." And I was like, "Oh, anything you say?"
So that's the same business that my missus does.
So I decided to go for the opening scene to the 1980s children's TV show, The Family Ness.
Do you think you could sort of just stand up a little bit and show that above your mic?
There you go.
There you go. Look, the opening scene to the Family Ness.
There you go.
Which, for anyone who isn't 32 or over, was a kids' TV show about Scottish family.
Do you remember The Family
No,
Ness?
I'm older than you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So The Family Nurse was a children's TV show about Elsbeth and Angus, two children, who were given thistle whistles, and they would blow on their thistle whistles, and out of the Loch Ness, certain Loch Ness monsters would arise to help them with their problems.
Thoughts?
Very nice.
So that's what you got on there? Was there any more sort of potentially career-ending pictures that you thought of getting but didn't? Don't say what they are, but did it cross your mind to get something where you would send them the picture and they would go, "Oh no, what have we done?"
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay,
no,
good.
it didn't actually. I didn't want to
got
put
23 goals and 13 assists. Sorry, I've just seen that.
Yeah,
That's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot, and the worrying thing is just not that. That's great. It's just how reliant we are on him. Because at least when Pogba was in the team, we had that little dip, Bruno. Pogba stepped up, didn't he?
Yeah.
But we've not really seen that
Including
as much
the game
in other
against
teams.
West Ham.
Do
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
as well is in a team like this, he is our only creative player. And I say that he's the only player that can create things. You look at Dan James, Rashford, Greenwood, they're not known as being creative players on the ball. McTominay and Fred certainly aren't. One of the things that made Pogba and Bruno work so well is that you cannot shut them down as easy because they're both incredibly creative players. Do you know, like, people always used to give Pogba a hard time because he'd go missing in some games because it was dead easy just to mark him out of the game and United had no creativity.
Because we only had one option to build things up. Now
Totally.
we've got more than one.
And it's really easy.
As the game's kicked off.
It's really easy to come up with a game plan of stopping United. Like, if you're David Moyes now, you think, right, we got Souček, we got Declan Rice, two big particularly Declan Rice will sit deep all day. Put him on Fernandes, take him out of the game, and all of a sudden you've lost your main weapon.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to sort of stop United, isn't it, without Paul Pogba? We've got a super chat here, from Brian Kennedy. Could you please wish my lovely girlfriend Elaine a happy 30th birthday? Keep up the great work, lads. Happy birthday, Elaine.
Happy birthday, happy 30th.
Happy birthday, Elaine. Oh, isn't she a lucky girl?
She is, yeah.
Had nothing to unwrap, but she got us three saying happy birthday to her midway through United match.
Midway through a dinner.
A priceless present that she'll remember forever.
Someone said about the Family Nest, so it's just sort of like a wet Pokemon. Kind of is, I suppose, isn't it? But there are plenty of wet Pokemon, I think.
It was a little bit like wet Pokemon.
Yeah.
However, these like Loch Ness creatures would help them out and shit like that, whereas Pokemon, I think, just exist to fight each other.
Yeah.
Here's a question about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Why did nobody ever eat Pokemon?
They must have done. Like a Magikarp.
He's kept that in.
Simple, isn't it?
They never did they?
Just flash fry
corner.
Magikarp for 2
Corner
minutes.
to West Ham after 1
You
minute.
never saw anyone tucking into a Snorlax or anything like that, did you?
This worries me already, to be honest with you, with corners.
Jay's never heard of Pokemon, by the way.
No, sorry.
Have you
Because
not?
he's 40. So Pokemon came out when he was already in the pub, pretty much.
Really?
It's a. I was going to say it's a Pokemon to West Ham, but it's not. It's a corner to West Ham, and yeah, this is the concern straight away, isn't it? Ball in, and just goes
All
over.
sorts
everyone.
going on
Like
there.
4
Everyone's
people
falling on the
laying
floor.
down on the floor.
Yeah, he was asking a lot there, lad, for a penalty.
I know
for
this
West
might
Ham.
be too early to pour shade on him, but how the hell does Mark Noble get a game at 33?
I don't know. I
It's
think
not too early to pour shade on him at all, mate.
Do you know he
I
came
can't
out the other
stand
day
him,
and
honestly.
said next year will be my last season, didn't he? Did
No,
you
the
see
football
that?
world
Did he?
mourns that one.
I love how he said next year will be my last season. Like he's making the decision and it's not father
Do
time.
you know why he's
the
doing
decision.
that? He's doing that so that someone will create some The Last Dance style documentary on him. He's like, I'll give you a couple of months warning so the production companies can rally and film every minute
That
of
is
this.
the shittest version of The Last Dance you could possibly
Mark
imagine.
Noble's
Mark
final
Noble's
season.
last season in the reserves for West Ham United.
Do you know
Oh
what?
my God.
I would bloody love to watch that.
Yeah.
Because who wants to watch the greatest sporting heroes ever? I want to watch a journeyman sweating because he
be
doesn't
so
know whether or
good.
not he's going to get his contract renewed.
Luke Shaw on the left.
Do either of you two watch Last Chance U?
Good drive from Luke Shaw
Beautiful.
in the middle. Oh,
Was
Greenwood.
that Mason there?
Greenwood just trying to flick it. The ball was slightly behind him, wasn't it?
Decent effort. It wasn't quite a
Some lovely
sit-up.
combination play here.
Brilliant
Look at
from
this.
Luke Shaw.
Little
Great
give
pass
and go.
from Rashford back to him. But Luke Shaw driving forward.
Good
He
ball,
seems
that,
to be
yeah.
a fan of this sort of heavy, like chest it, and then just sort of
Little
power
flick
through
up, yeah.
people. He's
Good
done
link
really
up there
well
with
there.
him and Rashford.
Is it Koufali's gone past there? He's done very well.
Luke Shaw, last 3 or 4 months, has looked like one of the best left backs the club has ever had.
He's
And
been
it's-
really good.
And
hasn't he?
honestly, I was not expecting this at all.
No, it's nice to see as well. Like for me, it makes me feel happy to see him. Not just is it good for United, but the point he was at 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago now, when Jose was there, he looked like
There
he
you
could
go,
be
there's a
sold at
stat
any
for you.
moment, didn't it?
The most chances created by defenders this season, Luke Shaw's at the top with 50.
He's-
ahead of Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson.
He's in the top 10 for chances created across all players in the Premier League.
Really?
He's created 20 chances less than Jack bloody Grealish.
That's mad.
It's amazing.
It's really good.
He's having a good season, Luke Shaw, and I hope he can keep it up.
Honestly, I'd written him off 18 months ago.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think I
like,
had.
he's a fat waste of space.
Yeah.
But he's superb.
Mark Noble's shat chance is what we've gone for the title, apparently, according to B Love Pollock 76. I think we can do a bit more workshopping on that one. Get a couple of writers' rooms going on that. But
Do either of you two watch Last Chance U?
I've seen it. There's a new basketball one as
I'm
well,
watching
isn't there?
it at
Is
the
it
moment.
good?
I love it.
Okay. Do you know what it is? Do you know what Last Chance
No,
U is?
sorry.
So imagine, right? Basically, it's like college basketball and college football, like American football. And what they do is there's certain universities that are shit and in the middle of nowhere, but they have great sporting programs because they specialise in taking the biggest, most talented knobheads from all the other ones and
Right.
giving them their last chance.
Right.
So you have like, these guys who are incredible players, but absolute fucking grade A weapons.
Like been in prison or
Yeah.
have been like kicked out of school, that kind of
right,
thing.
okay.
People who generally are incredibly talented, but for one reason or another, their life isn't quite on the right tracks.
Okay.
Or injuries as well.
That's
is
another
big
one, yeah.
Have you watched any of the basketball one?
No, is it good? Is it good?
What just happened then?
I think there's a pause for 3 seconds.
All right. So the basketball one, there's a guy in it who...
Let me guess, tall fella.
What, sorry?
Is he tall?
Yeah.
They're always fucking tall, aren't they? I
I
love
mean,
it.
it's almost like that'd be some sort of advantage.
Why didn't they just make the net lower so normal people can play basketball?
Very good question.
Like, if you put the net, instead of at 10 foot, put it at 8 foot, you could have... imagine some of the people who are 5'3" must be incredible at basketball, they'll never get a chance.
Put it at 6 foot
Yeah.
and have a minimum weight requirement of 20 stone.
Yeah, fantastic. That's brilliant. It's like, that's basically just the bins in a McDonald's car park, isn't
Basketball.
it? Interestingly enough, though, I think I heard somewhere that the reason they made the rims 10 foot is so that no one would be able to reach them. The idea was that you wouldn't be able to dunk, so that it would just be on talent.
Oh,
but then they were
really?
like, actually, there's about 2% of the population that can jump and their hands can get 10 feet tall. So they're like, oh shit, we made it just at the prohibitive height where some people can actually dunk this and other people can't even get near it. So yeah, I think the original plan was we'll make it so high that no one can even get near it. Oops. We've got a super chat in the comments. Jack Jenkins says, love you lads. You make me and my girlfriend happy, and your content is great and relatable. Mrs. loves you 3. Oh, Mrs. loves you 3 on today. Up the Reds. Cheers, Jack. Cheers, Jack's. I mean, Jack's Mrs. is the only reference or name I have for her.
Yeah.
But thank you very much.
Rashford. Out wide there, Rashford.
It does look like he's playing on the left, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Rashford and then Greenwood down the middle, and then James on the right hand side.
Yeah, which is kind of what we thought, isn't it? What we predicted.
Yeah, because like I said, you don't want Marcus Rashford with his injured back and shoulder having to back himself into Craig Dawson's big fat man tits. Do you know what I mean? So you got to put him out wide, and also as well, he's better on the left.
He's better, much better on the left, and also Mason probably he's better down the middle. I know it's like a bit of a stretch for him this early on in his career, but he was a striker and he is a striker rather than a right winger.
What are we going to do, by the way, when Cavani leaves at the end of the season, like we're talking about how he is?
We need to buy a striker, don't we?
What, sorry?
We need to buy a striker, don't we?
Well, here's the thing. So, first of all...
You got one on the cheap?
First of all...
Someone's messaged you on
Funny you
Instagram,
should mention
have
that.
any striker you want, and you've gone, I'll take a customised striker.
I'll take the striker from the 1980s children's TV show Penny Crayon. Come on, come down. That was a banging show, by the way. Did you ever watch Penny Crayon?
No, I don't know why I'm missing some of
Did
those.
you ever watch Penny Crayon?
Similar age.
No, I think we're all sort of lodged in 3 different categories of TV
Penny
show.
Crayon can draw anything she likes. The motorbikes. Right, it was this girl. She had a fucking magic crayon, right, and she'd draw stuff, and whatever she drew just attacked her friend. And her poor friend was like, "What you drawing, Penny? Oh, a dragon with chainsaws for teeth. I'm going to fuck off.
I'm going to go back home now.
Yeah, because every time it fucking hurts me." Yeah, so what's going to happen here? Because Martial is not our number 9, and I'm kind of done with him. Even though he played great against City, he's not got that consistency in him, and we can't keep the faith in him any longer. Mason Greenwood does look like a number 9 that we can trust, but he's what, 18?
I think, 19 or 20.
What, you're going to have your number 1
young.
striker at Man United, an 18-year-old lad?
Yeah.
You can't.
No, I mean, they're very rare, those types of players. And I mean, I know he is a rarity, but I think you can't rely on him next season to be your main number 9, especially if there's question marks over Tony M.
But then what do? Do you go out and buy and put in a bid for Haaland and put in a £120 million bid for one of the best strikers in the world, if not the best striker in the world, knowing full well that might push Mason Greenwood out onto the right-hand side?
I honestly don't know what we do, because there is this sort of orbit around Haaland that Ole seems to have been trapped in, and he goes around him like a moon on Haaland, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it's like everyone knows it's an open secret that Haaland is the one Ole wants.
Yeah.
So you think, how much do we sacrifice? Like maybe next season potentially, if Haaland isn't available this summer, how much do we put another year of another aging striker as another stopgap? We've had Ighalo, we've had Cavani. By the sounds of it, he may be leaving this summer. Do we get another journeyman striker? Do we get Dzeko from Roma?
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Someone like that.
Get Harry Redknapp to ring up Benjani.
Yeah. Do we end up with someone like that for another year, hoping we get Haaland, and then we might not even get him anyway when there's about 14 clubs activates his buyout clause next summer and he doesn't choose United? Or do we, have a look for a proper replacement that may not be Haaland? And that's going to be really interesting to see how United navigate that, because if we're not careful, we could end up wasting, maybe the last year of Paul Pogba, maybe who knows how Rashford will progress his whole career. Like, you don't know. You can't just take a year for granted just because we're waiting for the right striker to come. So, yeah, for me, I'm concerned about that, and we need to make sure that whoever's starting up front for Manchester United next season is a good player that can actually play every week and get us goals, because otherwise we're just going to struggle again.
Yeah, it's costing us. It's like getting Ighalo last season we all bought into it and everything, but we couldn't rely on him in the Premier League. Really, you certainly couldn't rely on him this season at all. Cavani, he's done okay, and I think we've all bought into it and we've liked it and it's been exciting. But in terms of the return, it's not been great. And it's if we had a striker if we just had a striker that was sort of hitting the same sort of figures as Calvert-Lewin or someone like that is for Everton, just someone who was in that sort of 12, 13 goal round, that's a proper title challenge, a sustained title challenge this season, not one that lasted for basically a fortnight. And I think that's what United should be looking at, not another stopgap, not relying on, people are already going, well, McNeil and Hugel in a few years, but what are we going to do in the meantime? Well, do you know what I mean? You can't be looking at going, oh, we've got more kids. I rate them, and I think that hopefully they will have a future at United. But in the meantime, another stopgap can't be the answer. I mean, we've seen it.
It's funny you mentioned.
Sorry, yeah, we've seen it already. Talks of Ronaldo coming back. Oh, that'd be like a Tom Brady style, Glazer signing, sell a load of shirts and get him 35, last dance tackle. Yeah. Again, though, I loved Ronaldo when he was at United, but it is another stopgap, and we need to be thinking of who's going to actually come in for a few years and get us properly challenging for titles, not sitting in top for a week or finishing 19 points behind City, but actually challenging.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Would you have Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
100%, mate.
I would as well. I would love to see him at United.
I think he'd be the perfect fit. in terms of like the style, the way he plays,
My
the type
only-
of striker he is as well.
My only worry is that Everton will go,
No.
we want 100 million quid for
Yeah,
it.
you're
I think it would be no less than 60 and probably more like 80,
But,
90,
but
100.
to be honest with you,
Go on. Oh, he's unlucky
50,
there, Mason. He did
50,
the hard bit
60
and left the
million
ball.
quid,
Mm.
he's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
80, 90 million quid, you might as well save up a little bit more and, put that money towards Haaland's wages or something.
Do you think you could get him? Do you think Everton? Because there's this sort of change in narrative slightly of Everton with Ancelotti there, and they've got the sort of well, they're getting a new stadium, they want a challenge at the top.
Do you know what?
Do you think they would sell him to United, or do you think that I know we've had Lukaku and Rooney off him in the past.
Do you know what it is?
Go on.
And this is going to sound horrible to Everton fans, but Everton will always be a second-rate club to United.
Ooh.
They'll always be. They'll always be that second tier of a club. Do you know? And every player that's at Everton can be poached. There's nobody who's at Everton who goes, you know what, this is exactly where I want to be. You think James Rodriguez wakes up every day and looks at the fucking shit flowing in the Mersey and goes, thank God I'm not back in South America.
He dreamt of waking up in Croxteth every day.
Exactly.
He was, you know what? Give me
He's-
Kirby
yes,
at dusk.
Yes, he was born in Colombia, but he's a Bootle boy at heart, isn't he? We all know that. Tim
Sounds
Jones.
like an army,
an army recruitment
me.
video.
Do you know what? When Richarlison moved to Everton, he went on TV and said it was a dream come true. He said ever since I was a little boy, it was my dream to play for Everton. And they said, do you honestly believe that a 5-year-old Brazilian kid was watching Joseph Yobo and Tony Hibbert and going, I want to be part of that action?
Leon Osman, what a guy.
Yeah.
Tim Jones says, we pray buy and buy Haaland and then put in a cheeky bid for Lewandowski. But again, you're getting what would probably be a 33, 34-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we'd all take Lewandowski at United. But
Lewandowski's 34 now, I think.
Well, yeah, whatever he is.
Do you know what? If anything, you could probably see. Speaking of all the clubs that are being for Haaland, Bayern Munich have got a long history of taking Dortmund's best and brightest, and they might look at Haaland and see him as the long-term Lewandowski replacement. There ain't many world-class number 9s anymore. There really isn't.
No, you're right. There being, you mentioned Calvert-Lewin. You look at maybe Harry Kane, look at Haaland, others who are, Lewandowski, plays like that. There's all the ones that you think of. There's a massive difficulty in getting them, and it's like, who can United get realistically, and who will we get, especially with our owners and our owners' ambitions or lack of it?
Who are the best out-and-out centre forwards in the world right now? Haaland, Lewandowski, Lukaku. We've already had him once, so that's kind of gone.
Yeah.
Throw Kane into the mix.
Yeah, Kane.
Kane,
Just these numbers,
but
can't argue with that.
he's not going anywhere, is he, Harry Kane?
Well, not for
or if
less
he
than
is, it'd be 100 million.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah, there is a bit of a lack of real top-class, world-class strikers at the moment, isn't there? I wonder if that's just a reflection of an emphasis on wing play and wingers getting goals these days, where it's not like wingers are crossing the ball into strikers over and over and over again. They're cutting in onto their stronger foot and trying to shoot themselves.
Well, I think there's also, I think formations and the popularity of certain formations bring a rise to the overpopulation of good players in certain positions. Like, for example, if you're a quick centre forward, a Michael Owen or an Aguero type,
Of hybrid of everything to be a striker. You have to have a great touch, which, Lukaku is an incredible striker, and 20 years ago would have probably been maybe the best in the world or thereabouts. But now, because to be a striker, you have to be great on the ball, you have to be good with the ball at your feet, you have to be good facing goal, you have to be good in the air, you have to be good with both feet. You're not allowed to just be a good finisher. You've got to do everything now to be a striker, because you're basically, making up for the fact that your wingers don't create as much as they used to.
Jesus.
Dean Henderson came for that.
He did well. I mean,
did he get it there?
He got enough of it to stop it going to a West Ham player.
To be fair, that was a horrible ball to come into
was.
the box. It was horrible.
I don't know. It looked like someone must have come away in a lot of pain there, but they all seem to have got up pretty easily, don't they?
That's a poor ball from Adam Wan-Bissaka there.
Mark Garside, to our point there about the strikers, he said City, Madrid and Barca are going to be in the market for a striker. I'd love Haaland, but it seems realistic. Sorry, let me just go back. Gone past it there. I'd love Haaland, but it seems unrealistic considering our board balks at huge price tags. That's one of the things with Haaland. We kind of know the price tag. It's going to be 72 million, whatever it is, his buyout clauses next season.
Do you know what? He was very brave then, Henderson, wasn't he, to get hold of that?
Would Maguire have got there anyway, do you reckon?
Let's have a look.
So Henderson
No,
goes
he wouldn't.
up.
No, he was ahead of him then.
I think Henderson's done the right thing now.
Yeah, he has.
If you're not sure, just clear your lines.
I'd love to see
Clear
that
it.
from a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Even if you say, we always say this about the hater. Even if you clatter everyone, just get rid of it. Just get it. Get something on it. And he
But
did
do you know
that.
what? As well, I think as well, there's a mindset thing because if you're a striker and a centre forward, the next time that ball goes in the air, there's part of you thinking, Jesus, Dean Henderson's going to clean me out in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be.
People target
so
David De Gea,
blind.
don't they? And
Yeah.
like, he's always
I love seeing keepers that are brave and chuck themselves like that.
Yeah.
I love it, and that was a criticism against Everton with De Gea. Wasn't brave enough. Wasn't brave enough when he needed to be.
For that one, 3-3.
And stuff like that, sometimes like it goes wrong. And when you're going to be a keeper that is, whether that's like you try to do risky things, whether that be with your feet, goalies who pass it out from the back. I'm sure you could put a compilation of highlights of Neuer fucking up loads.
Oh, yeah.
Because he makes 1,000 passes a season. Whereas goalkeepers that don't do that, they make less mistakes with their feet, but they never give you the advantages that someone who's comfortable on the ball does. Same with Henderson. Sometimes he's going to come out for one of them and punch thin air, and the ball might go in the back of the net. But over the course of a season, he saves you maybe 10, 15 goals and concedes one from it or two from it because, anytime someone takes risks in any way, they're going to occasionally, go wrong.
That's one of the things I hate is that, like you have these memes that go around these clips. People put like Benny Hill music to it, and you can make anyone look bad.
Shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could make Messi look terrible if you pick out all the mistakes he makes.
The more
Bruno
risks
makes
someone
gives the ball away a
yes.
lot because he's always trying to make things happen. And if you just took those times to give him the ball away, added a bit of music to it, and make a video out of it, you can make him look like one of the worst players. in the
Similarly,
league.
you can do the same thing with highlights because I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube clip where of 5 minutes of Dirk Kuyt looking like the best player that there ever was.
Was it
Do
you
know
were
what I
saying?
mean?
John
John
O'Shea.
O'Shea's highlight reel.
Yeah.
You can't get better. Nutmegging Figo, keeping a clean sheet at White Hart Lane when he went in goal. The goal
As a keeper.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper. The winner in front of the Cop in the 94th minute. The chip against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, you look like and go, Jesus, he's the best player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Didn't he chip the ball and hit the crossbar
Yeah.
with Buffon as well?
Yeah, it was the guys there's about 5 or 6 absolutely ridiculous sort of incidents with John O'Shea where you go, this guy's gifted, and yet for much of his United career he was third choice right back.
The thing is with keepers as well is when they make a mistake, it leads to a goal.
Yeah.
Every time. Or most of the time anyway. Whereas when a centre mid makes a mistake, often they can just get away with it.
Yeah. Truth Enigma says, given the increase in debt, what makes you think we'll be after top players will be linked with everyone and get one player at 30 to 40 million after a transfer fee? We have signed big names we've spent a lot of money in the past. The debt thing is something that's been up and down for the last 15 years, isn't it?
Yes.
We've been anywhere from 250 to 550 million quid in debt for 2 decades.
455 million, I think, was the latest figure I saw. It's the highest since 2011.
Maguire.
Is that still going there?
It is bobbling about. Dan James getting in there.
Bless him.
Dan James versus Souček in the air for a header then inside their box.
I love how he
Souček,
still
think, is
tried
6'7".
though. Like
Me
he knew
too.
it wasn't going to happen.
But what it meant is it wasn't a free header for Souček, so they couldn't clear it properly. And United have still got the ball. Obviously, it didn't create anything from it. But
The thing
they kept the ball there.
is if we spend 30 to 40 million pound next season, we are in trouble.
Yeah, we could
Because
easily be
we
6th
need
or
to
7th
spend
again.
we need to spend more money than that to bring the players in. We need realistically we need a centre back, we need a centre forward, and probably you can make the argument that we need a right winger as well.
Would you throw a midfielder into that just to say that I think Paul Pogba's going in the summer? Do you think
no,
we need to
I
replace,
wouldn't
or do you think
actually.
he's staying?
I think that Donny van der Beek was signed as the Paul Pogba replacement. What I would say is that I would quite like to see a young but highly talented defensive midfielder that can probably sort of fill a Matic role that Matic doesn't seem to be able to fill anymore.
So not a big name signing, but someone that's a bit more
Someone
defensive.
who can
Bruno here?
grow
No.
the next couple of
nice.
seasons.
Maybe
Double
Jimmy
there.
Garner.
Pardon?
Jimmy Garner's on loan, obviously at Forest, doing bits there. They likened him to Sergio Busquets, the Forest fans. I don't think he's quite there yet. But do you think he could be a long-term replacement for Nemanja Matic?
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. And also as well, you've got young players coming through like Hannibal and things like that but you can't rely on those.
No.
If I had £1 for every young player that showed tons of potential but couldn't make it from young wonder kid to actual top class player, do you know what I mean? There's millions of them.
Yeah, there's loads, and there's been a few that I thought, oh yeah, definitely, he's got what it takes, and it just doesn't happen for one reason or another.
Yeah. Couple of super chats. Ollie Christian Fiel says Bayern have just bought up Meccano. They can't afford Haaland now. Maybe they haven't spent that much on it. It's like 50 million, isn't it?
Under 48.
Me and you were talking about this on the late night live the other day. Sorry, the transfers live the day, weren't we? And I think the only thing that may.
That's a good
chance.
cross.
Marcus. There's a free header there at the back post.
That should be in.
And Marcus is cursing himself.
Got to hit the target with that.
Yeah, it needs to be.
Reminds me of the one again. Who was the one? Leicester. Reminds me of that.
It's a free header. This.
It's a free
I'll
header.
tell you what.
Great cross from
What a
Mason
ball
Greenwood.
this is from Mason Greenwood.
Perfect height.
Look
for him.
at.
He's just got it
just
all
gets it
wrong.
wrong.
All wrong.
It just misses it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think it just skims him.
It's like he don't know where he is.
Do you know what he does?
He says he's heading it, so he's like
Do
down
you know what
to
he's
the
done?
left when he's
What he's done
already
there,
at the back post.
The ball's come up and he's gone like that to try and get loads of power in it. If he just nods it back, he's like pulled his net back and really tried to chuck
He's
loads of
4
pace
yards
into
away
it.
from goal. What's he trying to bust the net for?
Just nod it, just let it hit your head.
Just get any
back
contact
across
on
goal. Gustavo as well with a super chat. If I can go back that far, I can. He said, Brazilian Red here with a quick question. If you guys could pick any Brazilian player nowadays to play for United, who would you pick? I mean,
Any Brazilian
Neymar's
player
obviously gonna be
nowadays?
top.
Yeah, I don't want to be unoriginal, but that was the first one that obviously
Without,
came to
all right,
mind.
no, you're not allowed Neymar then, because that's too obvious.
Okay.
Is that Harry Maguire getting
Yeah, Maguire's just smashed himself. Who would I have? Any Brazilian player? Wow. That is a good question.
I mean, they're a good team, but they're not stacked with world-class players like they were.
Is it wrong to say Gabriel Jesus?
Maybe. I think I'd have Richarlison, maybe over Jesus, to be honest.
Would you?
Yeah, I
that
think
says
so.
a lot, though. That those are the first names that spring to mind. Not disparaging those players, but it's not a vintage era for Brazil, is it?
It's as well, like, what do United want in players? Well, we want centre forwards.
Yeah.
And it's not like Brazil have got, centre forwards apart from Neymar.
Firmino.
And Firmino's.
Jesus wept, yeah.
I mean, not even Liverpool fans rate Firmino anymore.
No, if they've woken up, haven't they?
It's a defensive striker. He gets the most tackles for a striker every season. Great.
What about Alisson? Not only are you hurting Liverpool, you're getting a good goalie out of it.
Alisson would be the one.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is sad to say, isn't
I
it?
know.
I'd take him.
Or who are Brazil's first choice centre backs at the moment?
I think it's still Thiago Silva, isn't it?
It can't
still
be.
gets
He's
the
like
game.
99.
Thiago Silva and David Luiz.
No,
Surely
no,
not.
it can't be.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Casemiro for Real Madrid.
Casemiro
decent
would be
player.
the one. Casemiro would be the one.
Yeah, and
I think-
Alan as well at Everton's a good player. But he's been injured most of the
It
season.
pains me
hasn't
to
he?
say it, but I think-
Marquinhos as well for PSG.
I
has
think
been
you've
good.
got maybe a shout with Alisson.
Yeah, because you are nicking Liverpool's one of their best players.
Yeah, I know
aren't
we
you?
had a stinker the other week.
Oh,
but
do you know what?
A lot of people were saying Marquinhos.
Do you know who I'd take? Oh, Marquinhos is a good shout. Fabinho.
Yes.
Fabinho's who I'd take. Do you know
Yeah,
what?
that's a good shout.
Before he went to Liverpool, it was a choice really between him and Nemanja Matic for who was going to United, and I was fucking gutted when we didn't get Fabinho.
So he was like 23 at the time, wasn't he, from
He's
Monaco?
superb. Well, I watched him Monaco. I watched him against City, and he played in the middle of the park, and he was fantastic. And I convinced myself that we were getting him as well because he also played right back for quite a lot of his career. And at the time, Antonio Valencia was retired at the end of the season, and I thought that we might be able to sort of get him as a right back that moved into the centre. But
He'd have been good, wouldn't he?
Oh, superb player.
But I think that was the thing that was a bit of a risk, wasn't it? Whereas Matic, Premier League proven, Jose knows him, Jose likes him.
yeah.
He was always going to go with his man, wasn't it? That's what
Yeah,
it was.
but it shouldn't be about that, should it?
Yeah, but for Jose, that's all he does. He just likes bringing the old team with him all the time.
Do you know what?
Come on, lads, get in the camper van.
Do you know what? I honestly was so made up this week when United announced the director of football. I was so pleased.
Well, yeah.
Oh, massively.
Well, that's good. Tell us a bit about that, because I was a bit on the edge of underwhelmed because it's kind of a bloke who was already working there alongside Woodward anyway. But from a perspective of someone who's a bit more keen on it.
But this is a guy that has worked in this club since the Moyes era. So he's in some form of another. So he knows United through and through. He has built the women's team from nothing to sort of he's caught up with the big women's teams massively. He's also built the under-23s team and brought in players like Hannibal and that Mark Girard, like loads of great young players. Recent, Charlie McNeil, Hugh Gill. He's brought in all these players. So he's been at United for years and years. He's essentially created two strong United teams, and now he's getting a chance to look over the first team.
I do like what they've done with the youngsters. How I know we've always done this, but it seems to have really ramped up in the last couple of years of going out and buying players for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million, who are and getting half a dozen of them a season, instead of just relying on.
He did well there, Mason. Great skill. He's unlucky.
We're getting some of the best teenagers in the world to come in. Like you said, Hannibal is one of them, and you've just listed half a dozen or so of them. I do like that strategy that we've been doing recently of getting more players for a bit more money than you used to spending, but they could turn out to be top class. We've got a super chat from Per Christian. He says, "Do you guys think Sander Burge, whatever, could be a good cheap defensive midfielder when Sheffield United go down?"
No, he's crap. I honestly thought that we were going to be getting. I honestly thought when Sander Burge came over, that Sheffield United had got themselves a really good football player. He is essentially a giant human wrecking ball. His passing range was meant to be fantastic. I haven't seen it. I think he's slow. I think he's incredibly strong. But I don't rate him as a player at all. Without being horrible, there's a reason that he isn't a first-team player in a team that's going down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I think I largely agree with that.
If John Fleck's keeping you out of the team, then I'm sorry, but it don't mean that you're a future Ballon d'Or winner.
Oh, Marcus there, a shot that's been blocked. Yeah.
This watch-along is sponsored by OneFootball, as we've spoken about before. Fantastic app for tracking pretty much everything with football. It's transfers, it's videos, it's live team news, it's updates on games as well. The link is in the description. The link is in the comments. Click on the link. Download the app. Try it out. Just give it a go. It's a free app, and it's got everything you could ever want from a football app. So make sure you check it out in the description. Like I said, it's a corner to United. Headed out to Rashford, and then back all the way to Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line. Another successful corner from Manchester United there. Rarely ends with a shot or anything on target, do they? Our corners.
The thing is West Ham are a much bigger team than us, which leads me to believe, why on earth are we sending balls into the box anyway? Why don't we just recycle possession and stay in a dangerous area? That's a beautiful ball.
It's good. It had some good curve on Bruno there. They could stay in. And Luke Shaw just knocked it against his man there.
West Ham get the ball away now.
Yeah.
You got yourself a super chat here.
Oh, we've got a super chat. It's from Abby Nagpal. And he said, "By Kane, proven Premier League experience and no Raiola." We mentioned Kane, didn't we, before?
I like
it's
that.
It's going to be 100 million.
There is well, this is it. Number one, he's 27, 28.
Yeah.
Number two, it's Spurs and it's Daniel Levy. And every time that we have dealt with Spurs, we have been fucked up the arse.
Yeah.
We have the really great negotiators as a football club. Also, Spurs aren't going to want to let Daniel... Harry Kane is going to have to say, "I want to go to United," before they let him go.
Yeah, he's not. They're not just going to let him walk out the door, are they?
No, if you're going to get Harry Kane, you're going to have to spend massive amount of money. There's no.
I think you're going to have to spend more than he's worth
if you have that money. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility you can get a player from Spurs, but you're just going to have to pay a premium on him. And it's whether a player like Kane, who his injury record isn't terrible, but it's not perfect, so it's a bit of a risk there. He's guaranteed goals, and I think he could be the difference between finishing second and a proper title challenge. Yeah. But again, it's whether we've got the money, and I don't think we have.
To be fair, though, if you're Harry Kane, you are one of the best strikers in the world, and you're looking at your trophy cabinet, and you realise that Jimmy Traore's won more medals than you have.
Yeah. You're
probably starting to think to yourself, Am I going to win anything at Spurs?
And how long am I going to stick around here when I don't have the best injury record? I might not be someone that retires at 39. I might have to retire at 33. Like,
Yeah.
he needs to start winning something soon if he ever wants to win anything. He said he wanted to play till he's 40, but someone who's got regular injuries, calves, everything, is going to struggle to do that, I think.
Yeah, this is it. What is it? What is his ambition? Does he want to be a, Spurs' greatest ever striker or whatever, or does he want to win trophies?
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
at the moment the two look like they're mutually exclusive.
No offence to them, but who on earth wants to be Spurs' greatest ever striker?
In an era where they've won 0 trophies. Fred
Like,
McTominay! It's
no,
blocked by about 4
yeah.
players at once, that.
Right.
Philip Glover with the super chat. Is there anything going on about the Lukaku transfer? Are we getting a player or money? Well, it was meant to be money, wasn't it? But then there were these reports that...
I think there's a yellow there for him.
Reports that they hadn't paid that money yet.
Yeah, of course it is.
I think they will.
Yeah, so we're talking about getting Martinez or Skriniar. They're both superb players, and both of them would happily walk into United's team. However, I highly, highly doubt that Inter are going to let either of them go.
Antonio.
Someone in the comments said, why are West Ham not called the Gammons instead of the Irons? I think the Gammons works a little bit better, actually. I might call them that from now on. Thank you very much, James. Free kick to the Gammons. Cresswell on the left.
It's been a tight game.
It has. This is a position that United aren't always the best at defending from
They're
either.
a big team as well. You got old Tommy Soucek as well.
Oh, play it down the line. Bit of trickery. And it's pulled back for Wan-Bissaka.
Did well there.
He did. Dean Henderson was right behind him, wasn't he, with his arms out?
I actually think he's playing quite well, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, me too. Although,
and so's Fred, to be honest with him. He's a very... I do like Fred, mate.
Do you?
He's a...
he's got one wrong there,
Rashford.
Marcus.
Yeah, poor.
He's not having a good game. I mean, he's injured, isn't he? But...
Yeah.
This is the thing, it's like, you can sort of see it coming, couldn't you? Like, if he's not fit, he's starting.
But, I mean, this is what kind of pisses me off a little bit about Solskjaer, is that he will very much try and fit square pegs into round holes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, 4-2-3-1, that's what we're playing. And it's like, well, if we don't have that recognised number 9, then why don't we change it? Why don't we put 3 at the back? Why don't we bring Tellez in and get some width that way?
He did like 3 at the back for a spell, didn't he?
He liked it against the big teams, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember
But
Luke Shaw
against
used to be on the left-hand
PSG,
side.
Leipzig pulled his pants down
or with,
when they're 3 at the back. And then
Zabi as well.
He's never done it since. Ever since Leipzig, the Leipzig game, he's not trusted 3 at the back. That's a
good
beautiful
pass from
ball,
Fred.
Fred. Well
Fred
done.
into
Go on,
Mason
go
Greenwood
on.
in now.
Oh!
Saved onto the post.
There's a superb save by Fabianski.
I hate goalies like that. He's only good in games like this. He's a terrible goalkeeper. He was shit for Arsenal. He's not very good for these, but he's pulling out saves.
Do you know who else used to do that? Brad Friedel.
Brad Friedel.
What a fucker he was.
Jussi Jaskalainen, every time you played him, couldn't stop saving it.
Literally got fingertips onto the post.
It's a beautiful save, that.
It's a really, really good save. Good, well done from Greenwood. Good pass from Fred as well up to Bruno.
That pass makes it from Fred.
Yeah, it's a good pass.
Just splits the lines.
Come on now, corner to United. Luke Shaw, cross it in.
Oh, that's another dog shit corner.
Straight to the first man. Benji Rabidi, best 10-15 minutes we've played of football in months. Don't know about that. I mean, I think we had a good 10 minutes against City.
Yeah, we played great against City.
Yeah, but I think we've actually been all right. And we've had most of the ball. We just need to turn that into goals. That was the first big chance we've had, really, other than the Rashford one. Which,
do you know what?
Does it still count as a big chance if they don't even touch it?
It was a big chance. He just fluffed his lines.
I'm really surprised at how little West Ham seem to want to press us.
It's Moyes against big teams.
That's
though,
what
maybe.
I was getting at before the game.
This is what
it Moyes still got that thing in his head of, I'm up against Manchester United, and you know.
Look at this here. West Ham average positions.
And
that pretty much speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's average position, apart from Miguel Antonio, is behind the halfway line.
Yeah. Rashford. See, well, no, that's better.
But
we're trying to cross it, and it's Greenwood in there.
The irony is that United actually prefer it when teams press and come onto them a little bit. It's when teams sit deep like this that we have trouble.
Yeah, we're not great at breaking this down. Like then, that chance we had there was essentially a counter-attack, wasn't it? Or not a counter-attack, but a quick attack.
Yeah.
Where they were still scrambling. United, when defenders are facing away from their goal, defending like that, we're not very good. When we can turn around and get them facing their own goal, we make chances, but otherwise, that's a great
ball,
pass
that.
from Bruno Rashford. Tame header. Very good ball from Bruno. Similar to the one to Diallo a little bit, just sort of lofted, quite central ball.
Oh, Diallo's goal was lovely. To be able
Is
to
he offside
see,
there?
Yeah, I think so.
To be able to see an 18-year-old lad in a European tie have the presence of mind to do a backwards header that lobs the keeper.
You know what? That's what Rashford should have done for that first chance.
Yeah.
Just a cushion header towards the other end where it came from. And the trouble with that one is he's got no power in it whatsoever.
Well, ironically, that one was the one that needs the power, wasn't it?
Fred there.
You took a little bit of a
Crouched
smack
over
in
off
the
the
mouth.
pitch, did he?
Let's have a look. Oh, there you go.
Just a flat palm to the mouth, that, wasn't it? One of those that might bust your leg.
Hey, Eric Lamela got sent off for less than that today.
I missed the sending off. What happened?
He sort of went like that. He shrugged off. Was it Kieran Turner? Just shrugged him off like that. You know, like as you do. I don't think there's anything malicious in it, but Turner's gone down like he's been shot in the head.
Straight red.
Yeah, I know. I might be. I think it was.
No, it was. It was
yellow.
second booking.
Second yellow. So yeah, but for me it was a bit.
Did you see?
soft.
Did you see Eric Lamela's goal?
Oh
yeah, I came in the office.
A goal worthy of losing any game. That one, wasn't it?
We were talking before about how, like, I'm not a massive fan of Rabonas because I always look at them and go, you could have just fucking hit that with you know, with your weak foot. But nothing, like that Rabona had to happen in order for him to get the angle, go through Thomas Partey's legs, and to score. He had to do that Rabona. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, really, really good goal. And again, for those who remember, that's the second one he's done for Tottenham. The other one was from 20 yards out, a similar goal. Rashford on the left. I do like this sort of Rashford-Luke Shaw partnership that's building a little bit. I mean, that's no proof
He's
of
just
it there.
lost the ball again.
Yeah.
He's not having a good game, Marcus
No.
Rashford. But
Well done,
he's
Scott
not
McTominay.
fit. He's not fully fit.
No.
He ain't fully fit. So what do we expect?
Yeah, I know. And to be fair, I know he fluffed one of them and the other one was a bit trickier. He's still been the person who's been on the end of two good chances for United. Like, I'm not saying that whoever else was on there, who else would be on there in his place wouldn't be on that, but you know, he does find a way to get himself in dangerous areas even when he's not playing well.
West Ham don't look bothered about possession at all, do they?
Look how deep they are. All of their players are except Antonio, are within about 25 yards of their own goal.
Yeah.
And from front to back, from strikers to defenders, it's about 6-7 yards between
Do you know
them
what?
all.
This is what Burnley do, and it's so fucking rubbish to watch.
I know.
It's just try and
then
nick a goal.
and then everyone gives them credit after the game.
They're really
good.
strong defensive display. It's like, no, they literally did the equivalent of putting everybody on the fucking line.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt, it's just like try and nick a goal and then just defend your life off.
Yeah. Or just do it the other way around. Defend your life off and try and nick a goal. Those two things in any order. Is that Bowen on the right now? I think it is. Just
it's not
tricking
even
himself there.
It's not even like there's any urgency in the transitions. Because
No.
if you look, they're just going back and they hoof.
Yeah, they
And
don't. They
Harry
don't
Maguire gets
particularly
all of
look
it.
like they're trying to score, do they, West Ham? That's good. That's good from Lindelof
Yeah.
because, like you said before, Jay, if you can't handle Mikel Antonio, then we've got problems. But we do know famously that he's the sort of character that Lindelof struggles with. Strong, quick players, and people who are good in the air is Lindelof's sort of kryptonite. But he did really well there, and he had to be physical and sort of power through Antonio to get the header away. So far, so good on that. But 42 minutes gone. We could do with a goal.
A bit sloppy there from Manu Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. Just not quite
Easy
reading the
pass
movement,
was
was he? So here's the.
If you look at this now, where's he going?
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
Although Luke Shaw's just for some reason not tracking his man there. Come on, see that there? Who is it? Bowen.
Yeah.
Just gone past Luke Shaw. They're both running back together, and Luke Shaw's just stayed a yard behind him, not sprinting the whole way. Luckily enough, we've managed to get it out, and Fred just blasted it out for a throw in. I don't know. That
I
looked
felt
like
there
it was
wasn't.
straight
I
out.
did feel like there was when he gave that to Fred. There wasn't. Could have helped him out a bit more. David Moyes looking fuming on the touchline. I've not missed that at Old Trafford.
No. The Mancalorian says, I think all burgundy blue teams play like this. except Barcelona, maybe, yeah. But yeah, there does seem to be a trait of that.
Burnley and Villa.
Yeah.
Like,
what is it? I mean,
like,
is it just
some
is
scientific
it just,
reason?
No, is
like,
it just why do teams have the colours they have? Does anyone know this? I don't know. Why am Man United red?
Red Devils, isn't it?
I know, but
well, no, it's not actually. The Red Devils is from a rugby tour that they did Salford rugby team did it of France, and they called the journalists them La Rouge Diables or whatever.
What, years ago?
Yeah, and then Busby really liked it, and then had it for the Red Devils.
That makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
But is there always a story behind why teams are like, why are West Ham, teal or whatever it is, blue and claret and whatever the bastard call it, all that stuff? Because I wonder if there's a link between the types of places that would have a pale blue and that colour
I know
kit
Palace,
and a style of play.
Palace was, what's his name? The guy that used to be the assistant at City, Malcolm Allison. He chose that colour. And then there's like, sometimes teams have lent kits to other ones, like obviously famously Notts County with Juventus, for example.
And someone here saying
like, oh, well, we wanted to be like Real Madrid and something.
Yeah, well, Leeds, Leeds famously, Don Revie did it.
ADM says, pretty sure West Ham boys borrowed a kit from Villa back in the day. So that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that sort of thing went on, didn't it?
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Do you want to hear a really great football fact that has nothing to do with this, but it's a really great fact? Motherwell have won a Copa del Rey.
I saw this on Twitter or on TikTok or something the other day.
Really?
How has that happened then? Do you know anything about it?
Yes.
Go on then.
Motherwell. Dan James trying to do it all on his own.
So in the
for anyone who don't know, sorry, Motherwell, Scottish team, Copa del Rey, Spanish Cup.
So in the 1930s, them and a couple of other Scottish teams were invited to come over to Spain and play international games, and Motherwell literally wiped the floor with fucking Real Madrid and like Barcelona and shit, and won an inaugural Copa del Rey. Motherwell.
So they won the first ever one?
You what, sorry?
They won the first ever Copa del
No,
Rey?
it was like it was like a special. The competition was still early. It wasn't the first ever one, but it was like, hey, let's invite teams over and compete, and then the winner can have one.
Fantastic.
That's great, isn't it?
That's really good.
Do you want to know another amazing football fact?
Yeah, take us to half time.
So in Nigeria,
yes,
a common insult to call somebody is a Dundee United, which means an idiot.
Really?
Yeah, a Dundee United. And it goes back to the time in the 1970s when Dundee United did a tour of Nigeria and literally got their arse handed to them by like amateur Nigerian teams.
What?
Like, like African teams have weird names at the best of times. It's always like, fucking,
Go Ahead Eagles or whatever.
Yeah.
What was that? That's just
like,
very ambitious.
Something Pride or something like that. It was literally amateur, like police sides and stuff like that, and like
Beating Dundee.
fishermen and stuff like that, and they beat Dundee.
That's great.
And so now, for like 50 years, in Nigeria, to call somebody a Dundee or a Dundee United, that means an idiot, foolish idiot.
That's very good, isn't it? I like that.
That's mint.
It's about 30 seconds to half time here, and it's been essentially the game we all predicted, hasn't it?
Yeah, tight.
Yeah, really difficult game.
I honestly thought that they would come at us a little bit more. I thought they'd smell blood and they'd go for it a bit more.
It's not a foul, that. Souček there diving.
Do you know what it reminds me of, to be honest with you? West Ham's approach to this game. It reminds me of United's approach to the Liverpool game.
Where there may have been a chance, but we didn't quite take it. It is half-time, 0-0. United with the better of the chances because, like you said, West Ham haven't really done anything. They've sat back, they've had a couple of set pieces, but it almost seems as though West Ham are here for a 0-0 and not really much more. I must say I'm surprised by how little West Ham have done going forward. As you can see, the current table there, United picking up 1 point would put us or keep us behind Leicester in the league. Obviously, plenty of time to go before that. Let us know your thoughts on the first half. People asking for Diallo. People sort of want a bit of a change. What did you make of that first half, Jay? Is it what you expected? Because for me, as Freddie said, I'm surprised at how little West Ham have even tried to attack Man United.
No, this is the thing with Moyes. It's still like he has this record against the top teams for a reason. He's very rarely, if ever, beaten any of them, especially away from home, because he seems to have it in his head. Like, I'm not going to win this game. The best I can hope for is a draw where, as you've both pointed out, United are vulnerable. He could have gone for it. You know, if he'd have gone for it, actually tried to get out, as he might have had a bit of joy, but they haven't. And the best 2 chances, well, Marcus Rashford had a very good chance. Mason Greenwood fashioned a good chance for himself, have come to United. So it's kind of what I expected in a way, because we're not at our very best. I thought we might take a while to get going, which we did. I thought the first 20 minutes or so was pretty dire, but our quality is there. You can see the likes of Bruno, likes of Marcus, likes of Mason are always capable of causing West Ham problems. I just want to see us get at them a bit more. I think Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford down that left-hand side, Cannon has been causing them a few problems. Get them involved more. Get at them. I think now West Ham are probably going in there, and David Moyes is probably going, keep it like this. Happy days. A point at Old Trafford is a great result. Whereas all he should be saying to our lot, listen, these are there for the taking. It's West Ham at home. Come on, lads, get at him. Show them what you're made of. And I think we can do. And I think in the second half, we can kick on and get them, because let's face facts, we're not really going to be looking to the bench, are we? And going, I know people are going Diallo, but I don't think we should be doing that. I think the 11 that we've got out there are more than capable of beating this team, especially with the way that first half has gone.
Yeah, totally, man. And the 11 that we've got out on this pitch have dominated the first half and fashioned 2 really, really good chances. One of them was a superb save from Fabianski, and one of them was Marcus Rashford not being able to head properly.
Yeah, that's
now, for the grace of that, we could be coming into this 2-0 up, and we could be talking about what a dominant performance it is. Now, I honestly thought that we would see more from West Ham. I get teams coming to Old Trafford and playing like this when you're 17th or whatever. And every point matters. Do you know what I mean? I get it. But West Ham are 5th.
Yeah.
I suppose, do you think in their heads they're going, if we don't get battered, if we don't take a big knock in confidence here, we might get Champions League football? Do you think that's what's in his head?
I don't think Champions League football's in his head. I think Europa League football's in his head.
Yeah.
I think he's looking more at the people behind him than he is at the people above him.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is if we come out and win... Right, here's another thing as well. You look at Leicester 2nd at 56, United 3rd, 55, Chelsea 4th with 51, right? Now, my question to you two is, look, City have won the league, right? Are you really arsed about whether or not you finish 2nd or 3rd? Are you really that arsed?
As a United fan?
Yeah.
I mean, I am a bit arsed.
But not it's not the end of the world, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because the main prize has already gone. It don't really matter if you finish 2nd or 3rd.
I suppose 2nd would show a numerical improvement that you can look at and go, we were 3rd last season, we're 2nd this season. But from that perspective,
if we keep this at a draw, we've got a 6-point buffer in terms of staying in the top 4. If we go ahead and win this, we're talking about a 9-point buffer. Do you know what I mean? We're talking about securing this top 4, which is really all we've got left this season, bottom the Europa League.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because on one hand, I agree that, if we go for it, whatever. On the other hand, I don't think the players available to us have got much more in them in terms of attacking and in terms of controlling the ball and trying to make chances. I think we are about as gung-ho as we can get. I don't see what more we could be doing. I know that we're not making tons of chances. Maybe we could pass the ball a bit more quickly, very, very sort of basic options. I don't know what we should be doing because we're holding the ball. You see there, look, they've had 0 shots on target. United have had 8 and 2. Crazy possession.
I'd be way more worried if we'd have just watched the first half of football and we created nothing. I'd be like, shit, we need to change this.
But in answer to what you're saying, Freddie, what you're asking us,
yeah,
I'd rather... 2nd does matter to me a little bit, and I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you 2 reasons why. One, I'd want to push City a bit more. I don't want to make it just a procession where we keep dropping points and they just win the league by 18 points again. Do you know what I mean? I know you might go, well, that's proper 2-bit. What? So we lose? They win it by 12 rather than 18. But I just think that whole thing of they've just got it wrapped up with like 8 games to go. Whatever. You remember last time with the Jose? It was just so deflating that the highlight of the end of the season was winning at the Etihad and prolonging it for a week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd rather we kept going and kept sort of at least making them work for it a little bit. I know they're going to win it. I'm not saying they won't. And also, and this is proper sad and bitter, but it's true, if we finish 2nd, we've finished above the Scousers. And hopefully by a bit of a distance as well, because they, I still get a buzz off the fact that they were raving about this greatest ever Premier League team, and we're 12 points ahead of them.
I think we're finishing above Scousers regardless.
But if it's a bigger gap,
I'd be worried if we came into this half having created nothing, but we had 2 big chances.
Yeah.
And if
one's a sitter, the Marcus
one
header,
of them ended up
you
being
can't
a
just say
chance.
because it's a header, it's not a sitter. It's a sitter. And
You're inside the 6-yard box.
It is, and
here we go.
It's one of those that you could see he was gutted
less
because
than
he
6
knew
yards out, or if it's
it's
on the 6-yard box.
6 yards out. And he's just got his bearings all wrong and got his header wrong as well to top it off.
Yeah,
because he's heading it as though he's on the front post.
Yeah,
and this Mason Greenwood's is much more difficult. He sort of runs into the box, side foot, does everything right, doesn't he? Really.
And not only does he do everything right, it's the shot is in the corner. He just gets the merest of fingertips.
Yeah, it's a superb save.
What do United need to do better in the second half? Do we need to do anything better, or do you think another half like that will result in a goal?
I think we just need to pick up the tempo a little bit, because let's not forget, for the first 20 minutes, I don't think we got going. So almost half of that half was written off. We just, you know what I mean? It's easy to look back and go 25 minutes in, great chance, 35 minutes in, fantastic chance, or good chance, sorry. But we wasted half of it almost by just being a bit laboured. In the first 5 minutes, they looked more up for it. So I think we start the second half the way we were towards the end of the first half.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll cope with us. I still think we've got enough quality to get at him, and I think we can, we get a goal. I think their heads will drop. I do, because I think David Moyes isn't the type of manager who goes 1-0 down, right, what can we do? Let's go for it. I think he goes, let's not make it a cricket score.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I just think come at him in the second half and get especially Luke Shaw down left hand side. We saw it briefly, didn't we? There's a couple of times you pointed out, Freddie, where we got at him and you think, yeah, and then we stopped doing it almost, and it's like, why? Just keep doing it. It's working.
What we need is to be a bit more clinical.
Yeah.
And I think that's, to be honest with you, been the story of our season. We miss a lot of chances. We miss an awful lot of chances. And we just need to improve on that finishing touch, that final little bit of finesse, composure in front of goal, because we could easily be 1 or 2-0 up, and this game could be out of sight.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. We've got a super chat from Mike Cullen. Sorry, I missed it before. He said, "These watch-alongs make my day. Love them. Great lads." Cheers, Mike. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, Mike. Good stuff.
And that does sort of come back to having a striker that gets you 20 goals, doesn't it? Which we haven't got this season. And I think, barring a miracle, in the last sort of 15 games, we aren't going to have that.
We haven't even got, if you add our strikers together, if they've got 20.
No, I think, was it Martial's
got
got
6,
in all
Cavani's
competitions, got 7.
Yeah. But in especially in the Premier League.
There are 2 strikers. Cavani's got 6, Martial's got 6, Cavani's got 7, Greenwood's got 2.
I think
3. Either way, it's less than 20 between.
Especially in the Premier League, I think it's like 6, 1 and 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's always going to be a bit of a problem if you've got any aspirations to challenge for the title. Don't get me wrong, the Scouts had Firmino, you mentioned him earlier, who got, 9 or 10 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
But they had Salah and Mane who got 50 between them.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole
Do you know
thing
what I mean?
with...
That's why that was okay.
The whole thing with Firmino is that he's going to play as a false 9. He's going to drop deep, and the goals are going to come from Salah and Mane.
Yeah,
it's not. It sounds daft, but it's not really Firmino's job to score the goals.
No.
It's as a false 9, he's there to make the space and to link up the play.
Almost too false though at times, I think, Firmino in that number 9 position.
Just
barely doing
shite.
Even the stuff he's meant to do. When they won stuff, he was good. But
I always think as well, there was a touch of the hipsterness about his fan base.
Yeah.
It was like, forget Salah with his 42 goals this season or Mane with his 38. It's Firmino who's the great player in that front three. And I think, is it though? Do you know what I mean?
It's just Salah and Mane.
Yeah,
actually.
It's like the one, not the one's getting 80 goals between them. It's the guy who's got 10 on it. You know what I mean? I thought there was a little bit of like, you talk about Joe. I'm seeing the thing that everyone else is missing.
Yeah, no one's noticed that Firmino's actually the best player, despite not scoring or getting any assists this season. This watch along is brought to you by OneFootball, which is a great football app to check scores, transfers, all your match day stuff. They've got the AR team news on there as well. The link to them is in the description. Check them out. You help us out. And also, it's a free app, so give it a go. Give it a chance. And they've got transfer predictions. They've got loads of videos, loads of great content as well. So make sure you check out the OneFootball app in the comments.
And hit a like as well. Give us a like.
Give us a
How are we
like
getting on with these 20k likes? You've shaved your head.
We've got 1.5.
All right, it's only 18 and a half. Is that right? 18 and a half to go. My maths spot on there.
Great maths.
Thank you. So come on. We only need another 18,500 more likes, and Joel shave his head.
Shave it clean off.
Yes.
Shave the whole head off.
There you go.
Are you making any subs at half time, or is it just more of the same?
More of the same. We said it I don't think it's personnel problems. I think we've done what we need to do. We've just not done it enough.
If this is like this and there's 15 minutes left, yes, I'm chucking Amad Diallo on.
Diallo, time, baby.
And I'm probably chucking him on for Rashford, who hasn't had a good game, but the poor lad is
Would
not
you,
fit.
right, and I know you've sort of answered this already, but I'll ask you anyway. Would you be swayed by the fact that Rashford in the past, this season especially, has this knack of playing poorly and popping up with a goal, a la Wolves? Would that sway you at all?
The thing is I would rather have a fully fit player for the last 15 minutes than somebody who's carrying quite a lot of knocks.
That's a good point, mate.
I'm also, to be honest with you, it's so interesting that we were talking about the strikers and how little we've had in terms of centre forward, goals and stuff. I actually think, to be honest with you, Greenwood has had a poor season overall, but it's to be expected. He's a young lad. He hasn't had a great year personally. He's had well-documented personal issues and stuff, and this will be a year that he learns, and grows as a person. Cavani has come straight into the United team. He's an older bloke. He's towards the end of his career, but I think he's done a really good job. I've been impressed with Cavani whenever I've seen him. His movement's fantastic, and I think we play better when he's our recognised centre-forward. For me, this season has shown, if nothing else, that Martial is not cut out to be a centre-forward. And if he's not cut out to be a centre-forward for United, where's his best position? Where should he be? Because, to be honest with you, he doesn't track back enough. He's not very good defensively, so putting him on the wing is a liability. And I don't think it's any coincidence that you see Luke Shaw's best form coming in when he has basically not Marcus Rashford, not Anthony Martial in front of him. So, for me personally, where does Martial fit in this United team?
At the moment, he doesn't really.
I think, I get where you're coming from, but I just think he needs to do something towards the end of this season to show Ollie that this is a blip rather than the norm. I think if he comes in towards the end of the season, it helps us win a trophy, then maybe buys himself another season. I think at the end of the season, he finishes on, 7 goals in all comps or whatever, and then you're going to go, can we rely on him next season? Because this myth of Ollie being this sort of, kindly figure, he's not stupid. I know he's talking of him signing a new deal or whatever, but he knows his job's on the line if he doesn't win things, if he doesn't keep us competitive, and he can't afford to carry a striker who's not getting you goals. So I've not given up on Tony M yet. I still think we've seen enough from him over the years to show me that he's a good player, but he definitely needs to start scoring more. I mean, the big disappointment for me at Etihad was he played really well, but he just didn't take that chance. More for him. Do you know what I mean? Because the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter in the game. I know we didn't know that at the time, but for him to get that goal would have just answered a lot of critics and maybe just giving him that little thing to kick on. I know he's injured now, but you just feel like there's almost an inevitability at the minute with Anthony Martial. When he's getting these chances that he almost... I used to always think when he got a chance, he'll bang this in.
Yeah.
I did. And now I think I'm worried for him. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
the one against City, 2 years ago, I'd have gone, perfect Martial.
You would have picked him out of anyone to have that.
Yeah. I thought he played really well against City.
Yeah.
And I thought he should... Do you know what? When you see Anthony Martial playing well, for me, he gives me shades of Henry. He looks Henry-esque. He can drop off. He can take players on. He can cause havoc, even though he's 30, 40 yards away from goal. He can drift past players like they're not there. But I see that Anthony Martial 1 game every 2 months or 1 game every 3 months. And when he's not having that sort of game, he offers nothing. He just... The amount of times that you've seen Martial this season... up front on his own, going, not even moving, just sort of like looking around like he doesn't know what to do. He's a big confidence player for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When his confidence isn't booming, he really struggles.
I think people often overlook that and they think, he's got that swagger, he's just lazy, whatever. I think he is confident as a confidence player because, look at some of the chances. He's had the PSG one, the one at Burnley, which is the last minute. It's almost like kicking a game. Put your foot through it, go around a keeper, whatever, and he just sort of cushioned it towards the goal.
Yeah.
That's a player who's not got any confidence, who just wants to get it on target because they're not in a very particular great place at the minute.
I would argue that a centre-forward for Manchester United, indeed our main centre-forward, one of the key attributes that he must have is the ability to not let his confidence get knocked so easily. The ability to shrug it off and take every chance as it comes.
The idea for United is to have one of the best strikers in the world, isn't it? Like if we want to be winning trophies, if we want to be one of the best teams in the world, which is, for me at least, still the aim, still where I think United should be heading. We need to have one of the best strikers in the world, not someone who we have to defend every few months. But
no, I get, and it frustrates me because I get you get it.
And he's not even playing. Let's
throw
not
back
forget
in your face when you stick up for him, or when you point out the fact that I don't know, Firmino shit always got more goals than Martial this season or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm still hopeful that he can come good.
Yeah, the second half has kicked off. By the way, the time is going as well.
The thing is with Mason Greenwood, United have a young player who is potentially going to be one of the best number 9s in the world. He has the potential for that. So what do we do? Do we buy into that potential and get a right winger and let him play centre forward all season next season?
I think we're in danger of spoiling him a little bit. I think that, I don't know. I wouldn't feel confident with Mason Greenwood as our main number 9 next season. And I rate him. I've rated him, for a little while. We all have, haven't we? It's hardly the most insightful thing to go rate him since I saw him as a kid because he was just scoring a goal every game.
Since he was about 13.
Yeah, it was ridiculous numbers. Anyone who saw him thought he was mint. But I just feel like, especially this season, is perhaps a little reminder that he's still learning his craft and that we don't want to, I know he's better than this player, but you get my point. You don't want to turn him into a James Wilson or a Kiko Makeda where it's like, oh, he's, throw him in, be sweet. Oh, actually, he's not at that standard. Let's load him out, he'll come good. Oh, actually, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I just feel
you
like...
You can ruin players by playing them too much early on.
I know he's better than those players I've mentioned, but you get the point what I'm making.
Yeah. I don't think any of those players have had a 17-goal season in their career, let alone at United. So he's sitting at another level to them. But that doesn't mean just do what you want with him and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
You still have to manage him. As he's on the ball now.
Here we go.
Dan James on the right-hand side, crossing it in. Straight across everyone.
There's no one there.
Because Rashford's over on the right-hand side. Greenwood played the ball out to Dan James and then didn't get to the near post in time.
It's annoying. I know. I'm sorry. I say this every.
Go on, say it, you bastard.
But it's games like this. You just you need that crowd there, don't you?
Yeah.
Second half now. Do you know what I mean? Would be Mason up front. Can you imagine it? You know what I mean? Everyone would be getting behind him and sort of willing him on and everything, and instead it feels like the training ground thing as well.
Know.
Training game thing, sorry.
And did you see the highlights back in, there was a video the other day, I think it was a City game, where they were talking about Maguire being a bit of a leader, shouting and screaming at a corner. And you hear it, the footage and the audio, when there's no commentators and there's none of that fake crowd. It is just a training game.
It is, yeah.
I don't even know how they play to the standard they do.
Yeah.
Because it's so far off any level of competition and any level of atmosphere in there. There is just nothing. And it's like, oh, everyone's going,
yeah.
Ref! It's literally just that. It's like playing five-a-side. It's so weird. So the fact that they're even at the standard they are is pretty impressive. But yeah, the difference to be made in certain games, this does feel like one of those games. And especially because West Ham, I know they're not a rival or anything like that, particularly of United, but it does feel as though they're the sort of team that the fans get behind against. Don't they, West Ham?
Oh yeah. There is that. They're a funny. I get what you mean now. They're a funny team and a funny club, West Ham, because there is that thing of fucking hate West Ham.
West Ham are the sort of team that, unless you're a West Ham fan, no one likes them. You don't know anyone who's got West Ham as their second team.
No,
they're just a sort of a. Oh yeah.
It's all that Freddy was saying earlier, that academy of football. We won the World Cup.
Bit of a
nonsense.
firm, we're hard.
Also, I mean, I've not been to the new stadium, but the Berlin ground, whatever you call it, Upton Park, was. I never liked going there. So yeah, it is one of them, innit, where they're an easy team to dislike.
Yeah, and they've got a free kick, pretty much on the halfway line. McTominay just stopped. I'm not sure who it was from counter-attacking. Just sort of ran across him. I think it might have been Antonio. Got booked in the process, and that's good there. Maguire winning a header.
Is that Fred now on the counter here?
Yeah,
he's got Dan James. He's got Mark.
Just run straight into Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well done, Dan James.
Sick of seeing that with Fred, just putting his hand up and apologising for stupid things. He could have played him in there.
Just play it sooner, or turn back. Either pass the ball forward or turn back. Don't just run into a midfielder. In fairness, Dan James and Rashford's runs weren't particularly easy to pick out. But you don't have to just sprint forward into a midfielder just because you don't. The pass wasn't easy, so I just ran into Declan Rice. Keep the ball, if nothing else. Or take a risk. If you're going to give it away anyway, you might as well give it away with the chance to play someone through or to keep possession going forward.
That's a great ball.
Luke Shaw pulls it back.
Oh,
it's a great block there. Bruno Fernandes was a little bit flat-footed, but I don't think he could have got that.
I get
anyway,
what you're saying, though. With regards to passes and stuff like that, the time to take the risks with those is the 50th minute.
Yeah.
When there's still 40-odd minutes left. I mean, if you're doing that in the last 3 minutes of the game, then it's like, do you know what I mean? Just wait for a chance to open up a bit more. It does look like more of the same this second half in that
so
West Ham are just going to sit there and do fuck all.
And hope to get a free kick.
United are going to try and have to break
Go
this
on,
down.
Bruno, do something, son.
Bruno goes past one. It takes the shot and it's just blocked
It always
immediately by
seems to have
Declan Rice.
big numbers, don't they, in front of us when we shoot.
Yeah.
If you're a West Ham player, how are you happy playing like this?
Well,
How are
because
you
they're
hap-
fifth, that's why they're
Yeah.
happy. Because over
And
the course
also,
of a season,
you know-
you go, we might get Champions League football.
But I get that they're fifth, but they're fifth by not doing this.
Yeah.
They're fifth by going out and
They
taking the
didn't
game.
play like
to
this at
teams.
Upton Park. Wherever the fuck they play
London
now.
Stadium,
London
whatever it is,
Stadium.
yeah.
They didn't play like this against us then. First half, they were much better than United.
They didn't play like this against City either.
Yeah.
So
But
why
the
on earth?
reason they lost that first game isn't because we outplayed them particularly. It's
Oh,
because
Bruno.
they missed loads of chances.
That wasn't a good
That's
ball.
why we beat
They're
them.
trying to counter now, but again,
They missed about 5 chances in the
not
first
got many
half.
bodies forward, have they?
It's not even like, again, it's like we were saying before, it's not even like they're being particularly quick and aggressive in the transitions to play really quick counter-attacking football, because there's nobody ahead when they win the ball back.
I mean, we're going to look like idiots when they inevitably get a goal and win it, aren't they? But at the moment, I mean, 0 shots on target in the first half. That is unusual, isn't it? Even for a defensive team, you expect them to have one pop shot.
If they do go ahead and win it, we've only got ourselves to blame.
Yeah.
Because
It's one. Yeah, go on.
I mean, in terms of them actually trying to win this game, they couldn't be doing an awful lot less.
No,
really.
If it's, I mean, 0-0's one thing. If we struggle to break them down, whatever. If we lose this, we've really fucked up here because at the moment, you know, they don't, like you said, they don't even look like
they're not
they
even
want to
pressing.
win. No, it's just hard to get through, isn't it?
They haven't even had one shot this game.
Yeah. Tomine. See, Greenwood out on the right hand side there. That's a better.
Doing
That's
well.
a good
Great
run.
run.
Pulls it across the goal.
Oh! It's a big. Who was that? Was it
fucking Kufal?
Kufal with a big foot there. Marcus Rashford running
The
on the far
ball
post.
just
great
fucking
play from Mason.
Dripped all the way across the box there, didn't it? About 5 yards out. The ball just
Oh,
rolls
he's on his
across
toes
and
there as well, Rashford.
would have had a tap in at the back post if it weren't for that. Unlucky. Corner to United.
Well played there, Mason.
Yeah,
Greenwood.
he did really well. And
Fantastic
it just
play.
turned the pace on a bit,
Yeah.
didn't it? Just a bit of an injection. Corner.
That's what I mean about the quality.
Bruno
there.
puts it in.
Yes! Scott McTominay.
McTominay with the header at the near post.
Guessing.
There you go, look. Bit of classic.
Oh, McSauce.
Okay.
Cheers, lads.
Do they do those T-shirts in double XL, and can I have one?
Yes,
yes,
we
and
do.
yes.
And yes, you can.
1-0 to Manchester United. Scott McTominay. Direct header from a corner there. The corners have been terrible
Oh,
today.
he's done it. That's about his 8th goal this season, isn't it? Old McSauce
It
there.
is exactly his 8th goal.
Yes.
I think that comes off the defender there.
Oh,
you
is
know?
it?
Yeah, I think that comes off.
Oh, it's an own goal.
The bastard. Good.
I love how McTominay put his hand up though, like he's won it. Look, he didn't even
Oh,
get
that's
near
it. An own goal.
Nah, I think he gets a touch on that.
Really?
I think he gets a touch on that.
Who are they giving it to? Who's Sky giving it to?
Scotty McTotty with the goal. That's
We'll give it
clearly no
Scotty
goal.
McTotty, yeah.
These shirts are available, by the way, in the
description.
I
in the description.
legitimately love that T-shirt.
It's really good, isn't it?
I
It's actually
legitimately
really
really like
Say
it.
it again, look at that. It's very good. Classic
Yes.
sauce.
How much are they?
$22.99 are they?
But for you,
But for you,
$22.99.
$22.98 and get a
Yeah.
1p discount.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll sort you out with one of these.
Mate, they look
Yeah,
great.
sounds like
I
double XL.
genuinely like them.
It's good. I know it's proper good, isn't it?
Do you know what? Sometimes when people have their merch, I kind of go, "Oh yeah,
yeah, that's nice.
Oh yeah, good that." I actually like that T-shirt, and I like the Stretford Paddock black baseball cap.
Ah,
Those
right, there you
are-
go.
those
That's,
are
we'll
two
get your
things that I
orders in
think
there.
look
We'll
nice.
get you one of them
Get you
sorted.
sorted.
What size? The extra large?
Double XL.
Double XL, right?
Yeah,
We'll get you an XL as a little
Oh, right.
Motivational
so my
tool.
tits get to be cradled.
No, it's a motivational tool. Like people getting a dress size too small for the wedding.
Rough, innit, man?
Lay off the classic McSauce, you fat bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone was asking the super chat how your weight loss challenge is going, Joe. They think it's yours on your own.
Just me.
Before the game, in the chat, they kept getting this message through. Forgive me if I didn't read it out. But it's like, how's Joe getting on with the weight loss challenge?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I've lost best part of a stone, I think. So I'm happy with that.
It's good.
All from the Todger, which is really annoying.
Wow.
Luckily,
the fact you had that to lose
lose
is immensely impressive. Marcus here, can he get a shot off? Oh, he's crowded out again.
They just block everything, don't they?
This is better now. Come on, United, get a second.
David Moyes is in that luxurious company of generally men. I mean, in fact, in my head, exclusively men who seemingly have no eyebrows whatsoever.
Yeah,
but instead just a sequence of wrinkles where the eyebrow should be.
Oh, is that a corner?
How do you explain
it's a goal
that?
kick.
How do you explain that?
We're born with it.
You're not quite there.
No, you've got something.
Quite light on the.
You've got
quite
something
light
there.
on the brow, though, aren't you?
I've always had light brows. When I was a kid, I just had no eyebrows at all. I had literally eyes and fod. That was it.
Really?
Yeah, you got something going on, but yeah, if you could take a mascara to that and bulk it out a little bit if you wanted to. Me and Jay have got quite robust
It'd be
eyebrows.
really
Robust,
weird.
I like that word.
Given that
Robust is such a politician's word because you don't want to say attack.
A robust approach.
It's a very robust proposal by
Given that I have an
the right
awful
eyebrows.
lot of me that is wrong with my appearance, it would be very weird of me to take a fastidious pride just in my eyebrows. Do you know what I mean? I'm about 5 stone overweight, but I've got perfect
I
eyebrows.
think you're very much a modern pin-up, Freddie.
Me?
What I would like to say
this
there,
is the way of the
Freddie,
modern world now.
I would like to apologise to you for the way I just so casually agreed with you saying, given the fact that I've got so many things wrong with me visually, I just went, yeah. And just like, of course, Karen, that goes that saying.
Yeah, like
I
it
don't
wasn't
mean
even
that. I was
West Ham
agreeing
have
with
got
you.
have they got a corner here, West Ham?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you to further your point, not to say, yes, I also think you've got a lot of things wrong with you visually.
Yes. Positive vibes on here. We don't...
Hashtag positive vibes only, guys.
Yes. We're not into any of that
Yeah.
sort of, taking the piss out of each other's appearance.
Absolutely not. Juan Martinez, is McSauce a great player or the greatest player?
That's a great question, to be fair. I would go with the greatest.
You know that West Ham are going to get one shot and score it,
off.
don't you? You know that's going to happen.
with your accurate
good header there. Who's that? Maguire.
predictions.
Very good header out. James Wright, I'll swap you a McSauce t-shirt for that pair of runners you're selling. Don't know what that means.
Oh, the runners, my trainers.
So,
Oh, of course.
has that gone out? Yeah, I think
Would you
it
reckon
has.
he's
Absolutely
taken-
not. And by the way, 70 quid plus postage and packaging for my spare pair of 9.5s.
What size are you? Because you got a 9.5 and a 10.5.
I'm a size 10. Yeah, but I'll wear a 9.5 and a 10.5.
West Ham making a couple of substitutions, it looks like.
Darren Wilson, good day, lads. That McSauce shirt is proper good. Thoughts from the guys about new technical setup and transfer committee. We did touch on it briefly before. I'm in the camp of I don't know much about this guy, John Murter, is it?
Yeah.
I'm hopeful he's good. I've got no reason to think he's anything other than good because, hopefully he's been given that position because he's got some good ideas. And like you said, he's done good things with the academy team and the women's team. Admittedly,
Fucking hell.
a first shot on target there from West Ham.
They're appealing for a penalty there.
He's built.
Admittedly, with the women's team, in fairness, we are the richest club kind of going, and we've ascended very quickly, and we've got assembled a good team, and that's easier said than done.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we do have the backing.
it's
of
an easy.
We
a lot
are
of money.
We are the RB Leipzig of women's football, really, and that we've
Yeah, a
only been
little
going
bit.
10 minutes, but we've got shitloads of money to throw at the problem.
But
the thing is he has set up 2 clubs at Manchester United that have gone on to become successful. He knows the club inside out. I have long since said we need a director of football. I think bringing Darren Ferguson as a technical director.
Fletcher.
Just not Darren Ferguson.
think
Darren
it's not-
Ferguson, fuck me, God no.
Mate, we blatantly have a football. We blatantly have it saying Ferguson as United manager. Confirmed. As United technical director, confirmed. What?
But yeah, we've needed someone like that, and we've needed someone.
There's no one there. That's a great
do
ball.
that
Sorry
job.
to insult you, Dan. There's a ball there from Dan James to the far post. There's no one there. And this has been a little bit of a story this half because we've seen a couple of balls in there where okay, Marcus tried to get on the end of one, he's a bit unlucky, but other than that, there's just not been that predator.
Greenwood now is playing again as a centre forward, and you can see that he's just drifting right a bit more. Do you know what I mean? He's not occupying those central positions. He's just.
And I don't mind that. You know what? Because he's had a bit of joy down that right side. But when he does that, someone needs to be getting in that box, even if it's Bruno or Marcus.
I think it's a lack of synchro. Oh, that's a nice ball. That's a really nice ball. I think it's a lack of synchronisation between them into the middle. Still, there's one player in the box
now. And
it's
Luke Shaw.
That was Luke Shaw.
Bruno.
Oh, what a save!
Fabianski makes his second great save of the day.
To be fair, you'd expect him to save.
I think that one wasn't quite as impressive.
Yeah,
as the first
if he
one.
lets that in, you go, "What's he doing?"
But to be fair, if he lets that in, you probably go, "That's Lucas Fabianski for you." Do you know what I mean?
Who's a decent keeper?
It's like
but
you
he's got
saying,
a right
he's the Brad Friedel's school of
Friedel. Wow.
Real Friedel.
No. We'll go with Brad Friedel.
Friedel is the correct way of saying it when you're from Eccles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Antonio.
This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
Go on, Lindelof. Show him who's boss.
It's just gone past Lindelof there.
Fucking hell.
Luke Shaw, good recovery there. Very well done. From
That's
Luke Shaw.
more like it.
And in fairness to Lindelof, whilst he eventually did get taken on, he held up and allowed United's defenders to get back there.
I don't mind that. That's not bad defending.
No. Luke Shaw did well. Ball in the box, and that's looked like a foul on Maguire, if you ask me.
Did enough there, I think.
Souček's all over Maguire there. Paul Madison said, I bought a Rashford Hope shirt from you in October and it got lost in the mail. Hopefully.
What's his name?
Paul Madison.
Paul Madison? Yeah, get him to email fulltimedevils@gmail.com.
If you haven't been given a refund or a replacement, get in touch.
Yeah, send me that and I'll send you out another one.
We'll sort you out with another one there. I'd love McSauce shirt though. It looks tasty. It is very tasty.
If he wants one of them instead, I'll send him one of them.
Can I feel it? Can I feel the quality of it?
Maybe with COVID.
Yeah.
I'll take it off later. I'll take it off
him.
and you can touch it.
Mark Noble's just gone off, right? And that's the first thing I've noticed about him in this game. And I am not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating at all. I literally forgot he was playing until I've just seen his name. And even his name, it wasn't even him. They didn't show a picture of him. They just showed his name. So, like,
the word
that could be
Noble
a prank that we're not on. That, like, he's not actually playing. It's bullshit. Because I've not seen him touch the ball, make a tackle, or even fucking take a throw-in all game. He's done nothing.
I think it might be time for us to accept that. I mean, you know what it's like. Age gets the best of even the very greatest players. You know, you look at your Ronaldos and your Messis, their powers look like they are waning. Can the same now be said for the great Mark Noble?
I wouldn't go that far yet. I wouldn't say just because, he's not touched the ball this game, we can say that Mark Noble is no longer world class. I wouldn't go that far.
I don't want to live in a world where Mark Noble isn't one of the best centre mids in the country.
No, neither do I. Aaron Quinn with Super Chat. Does Fletcher, as a technical director, now mean he decides training drills, hires coaches, etc.?
Right, no.
I'm not really sure what
this
a technical
is just
director
asking
does.
for trouble.
So fair enough.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is ridiculous, isn't
He's
it?
talking about what's going on
Sorry.
rather than the question.
I was shouting randomly at the screen, but we're just playing, not our way out of trouble, but our way into it.
Yeah. He's going to be, as a technical director, he's going to be responsible for the continuity between the academy and the first team, if you like.
That's almost verbatim from the press release, I think. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, but it's creating the link between.
No, it is like that. I think one of the lines was practically that in the press release, which, I mean, the thing with Darren Fletcher is, I like Darren Fletcher as a player. I was pleased when he's on the coaching staff. Me and Joe were talking about this the other night, and, you don't think it's a bad thing that someone who's been at United for so long and knows all it is being given that sort of role.
Oh, shit.
Bowen, great block, Maguire. Maguire has quietly had a very good game today. Defensively, he's been very good.
That's too easy.
And
good
West
ball
Ham,
in shit.
He's in it. That's
wide.
He's missed the sitter there.
He's missed the sitter there.
Bowen. Basically did similar position to what Rashford was in.
He's
line.
Thank God for that.
West Ham, all of a sudden, concede a goal. Oh, we want to be good again now.
It's
really
like they've realised,
they?
Shit, that stupid tactic that we had of having everybody behind
the
ball
he is quite
pointless.
comfortably offside.
Do you know what? If they'd have played like this from the first minute,
they
wouldn't be 1-0 down.
No.
Well, now they've took Noble off. They're up to 11 men, aren't they? So that's
so
an
they've also
advantage.
brought Benarama on and Lanzini, who both have
two
you
players.
pointed them out before the game, didn't you?
They've both got quality.
This helps West Ham us messing about like that.
And then now you've got a 1-on-1
randomly,
hoping Dan James is going to win a ball.
How is that?
60 yards in the air.
A good idea.
Yeah.
You've got players there who can actually carry the ball. So
There's the
Look
table
at
as
how-
it stands. And the interesting and exciting thing for me there is, if we win this game, like you said before, 9 points to 5th place in West Ham, and then even more to Liverpool, even more to Tottenham, even more to Everton. Obviously, we lost yesterday.
Right.
That's becoming a very comfortable top 4 place now for United, isn't it?
We're 15 points ahead of Liverpool.
That's
what I mean. And like
incredible.
that, I'd still buzz off things like that.
Go on,
that's a great
touch,
ball.
Great touch,
Go on,
Marcus.
Marcus.
And that's in there. Bruno!
Oh, unfortunate.
Just a fucking...
Yeah, the great idea.
Has he knocked him out there?
Oh, no. Please don't tell me that there's anything wrong with Bruno Fernandes, for the love
Bruno
of God.
Fernandes gone into Fabianski. It's not a foul.
The
Fabianski's
pass
got
was-
the ball.
Do you know what? If that's a left footer who can put a bit of curve back on that, because he's used his right foot there, Rashford.
I'm just worried that Fernandes is injured.
Yeah, hopefully he's not. If this is a left foot, it's curving the other way there.
It's
Because
slightly,
it's that much in it.
Do you know
Just
what?
A couple
Look
of
at
inches
this.
closer.
Look at this.
Oh, he actually gets a foot on it, doesn't he, Bruno? But he's Fabianski's
Yeah, but he gets
all
wiped
over
out
it.
with his knees and his shin.
Yeah. People saying bad injury, but I don't think it is a bad injury. They're both sat up. They're both talking.
It looks
to the
like
doctors.
it's one of those impact injuries that hurts like fuck at the beginning, and then they just sort of run it off 5-10 minutes later. They're all right.
It's only Bruno, though. It's not important.
No,
Yeah,
it's not like
who
he's.
cares?
Do you know what I mean? Belly.
Yeah,
So it's not like he got. Oh, you don't get assists for own goals, do you? But
Bit
I'm
of a
saying an
letdown,
assist
really,
anyway.
isn't he, overall, as a player?
He'll be fuming
I
at
hope
that.
he kept the receipt. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it was a mistake having Bruno as our number 10 and not Jesse Lingard, quite
Me
frankly.
too.
There is, you may laugh at that notion, and it is, a joke, but there is people that will be saying that. I've seen that on socials.
Do you know what it is with Jesse Lingard?
I like Jesse, to be fair.
I do.
Oh, I really don't.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't.
No,
he lost my respect massively when he bloody launched that clothing brand about 2 minutes after we just got beaten in a derby.
Well,
hey, who wants to buy from jlings.com? Not fucking me, Jesse. Not me.
I didn't, right. It was before, I know where you come from. It was the week of the derby. It was before it that him and Marcus launched their clothing line, but I just didn't care. I'll be honest with you. It was like, I know Gary Neville went off on it, and I think Roy Keane joined in with him, but I was literally like, I'm not that arsed.
I think as well, seeing him so much on social media, on Snapchat every 5 seconds, pretending like he had the swagger of one of the best players in the world. And it's like, mate, you haven't scored or assisted all season. Do you know what I mean? Can you please get off your Snapchat stories and get some time at the training ground?
Greenwood just running straight into someone there. You should
you.
get it, Jay. You'd like Snapchat, I think.
Although
Snapchat's a bit gone by the wayside these days.
I mean, it's bad enough we have to do these TikTok videos.
You love it. You love TikTok. Stephen Lopez with the super chat. Sorry I'm late. I haven't seen the whole game. How's Rashford looking? Is he struggling with his injury?
Yes.
He's been, a bit cagey, Rashford. Although, again, other than
That's
the
soft.
goal, pretty much every
That
good
foul
thing
there,
United have
free
done
kick.
has had either him in it or him on the end of it.
Again, it's that thing, though, isn't it? It's like, you were saying, we're debating really, like, do you start him? Is it feeling great? Good, but I think you've needed him. And you can go, he's missed his chance or whatever, but he's been involved. And you think, if he didn't start, would we 1-0 up? I don't think we would. So I think it's one of those where...
Also, because he's such a danger out wide...
Don't fuck up there.
Because he's such a danger out wide and he can take people on and he can create chances and he can get himself involved, it pushes defenders out and it opens that pitch. And when West Ham are playing with 11 men behind the ball because they're just clinging on for dear life, you need those touchline huggers to make the pitch as big as possible.
Isn't it, actually incredible that since we scored, West Ham have been clearly the better team. They've gone, right, we're going to try, and we've gone, yeah, go on then.
That's annoying for you. You're right, because I think we've played into that.
Yeah.
I play that, like playing out from the back, inviting pressure. We've stopped doing the things that we were doing. Mason Greenwood's barely touched the ball for the last 10 minutes. And then you see like Bruno there getting crowded out and trying to play a pass that's just not on.
This is the West Ham that I thought would turn up.
Yeah.
And
they've just we've not seen it until now. And like United just don't seem to.
This is just
we're happy for them to have it. And there's 25 minutes still to go, really.
We've got
with stoppage time.
Very limited options on the bench.
Yeah, if they score one, we're going to be really struggling here. Because if they score one and it carries on like this, they'll be the team that look more likely to win than us.
In-game management, what do you do now? How do you change this?
Only sort of... Again, though, I don't even think I'd do that. I was going to say maybe you could bring on the Man United, but again...
I don't
think that even
for me personally
is the answer.
I think about changing this to put 3 at the back and to play with wing backs and to bring Alex Telles on and to shore us up at the back, but also to give us a bit of a numerical advantage, make us quite difficult to play through.
Yeah, these situations where
keep going.
It's very
Aaron
much
Wan-Bissaka running with the ball there.
That's good.
Great little 1-2 off the back of
Greenwood's heel. Yeah.
Genius.
These are the sort of situations where I think it really is the upper level of a manager's, what you pay a manager for, is when the game has just changed despite what you think is happening or despite what you expect. Yeah. Now making a change. Is it a tactical change with the players on the pitch? Is it a sub? Is it both? These are the moments where you really go, you have to earn your money here.
Is it the upper level management thing? Because we're all novices,
and
we can all see that this game has changed.
Yeah, but we're giving suggestions that we don't know will work.
You are sorry?
The suggestions we're giving now, we don't know if they would actually work if they were applied.
No, that's absolutely true, but nobody knows, do they?
No,
nobody knows if
I'm
it's
sure
gonna work.
Ollie has thought of the things we've said.
But he consistently never changes his formation mid-game. That's something that he never does.
Yeah, he hasn't done it for a while. He did, like you said, he went through a spell of doing it. He did against PSG in Paris this season.
But even
he did
then,
against Leipzig.
He didn't change mid-game.
Bruno's gone
against Paris. He did. We
did
went.
He?
Yeah, we went from 4-2-3-1, and then we went like 3 at the back for a bit, and then 4-2-3-1 to 4-3-3 to 3 at the back.
He famously did it in. I don't know if you're talking about the game, Joe, when Marcus Rashford's penalty win.
Yeah.
We were 3 at the back, we won't start with. I mean, to be honest with you, Stevie Wonder could have seen that needed change.
That's terrible.
But he did make the change, didn't he? He did go back to, was it a flat back 4, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's very rare.
It is
and
a
it
criticism
hasn't happened
that
in a
people
while.
have of Ollie's in game management.
Yeah, and
sometimes it can be a little bit questionable.
Greenwood. He's got
Mason.
this one there. He's trying. Go on!
Ooh.
He just had blockers in his way until the ball got all the way through.
Kept going,
didn't he?
You thought.
Yeah. He does well here, but just can't.
Yeah, he just get across him.
Yeah. We need a bit of that though. He's done that a few times now, Greenwood. Anyway, he picks the ball up and is one of the few that actually just starts sprinting and driving at defenders rather than just trying to pass it back and round all the time.
That's it. Right, I'm moving to. Fred didn't make life easy there for Maguire because he'd give it him and then stood behind the player, so Maguire couldn't give it him back. His movement was shocking.
Short one-on-one with was it Lanzini?
I think that's Benrahma, that.
Is it? That's a good pass out wide. Ball across. Oh, well done, Maguire.
Maguire again.
Yeah.
And he's kept it out for
a throw-in. He's been good today.
Credit
Maguire.
where it's due.
Yeah.
And he's shouting at someone.
Something fucking quick then.
Whoever it is, yeah. Whoever he's shouting at, I like it.
Yeah.
Juan Martinez, I feel so much calmer.
Wasn't from there, was it?
I feel so much calmer watching matches with Hendo in net. His command of his area and distribution is so much better than David De Gea. Love the show, boys.
Thank you. Thanks for the comments.
Compliment. And Mick Kingswell says, Dan James is having his best spell as a United player. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. People going about his start at the first few games, but I think this is probably a better.
I had written Dan James off as a player. I didn't think that he was good enough for United. I thought his technical ability was dog shit.
Talking of which, now United on the counter with Dan James.
3v2 here.
3v2, pick the right pass. That wasn't it.
Behind him.
And then Bruno didn't help Matt. Was there blasting it back?
No, that was for Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, right.
Dan James just blocked it.
Right.
It's a shit pass from Dan James there. He's got two men next to him, and
that's why I
passed it behind Bruno.
That's why I thought that he's not good enough to be a United player because of that. He lacks that kind of quality. Yeah. But having said that, he is really good. Look at this here. Look how he wins the ball here.
Does really well, and then it's this bit that's the problem.
He needs to switch the play.
out wide. You've got Marcus and Mason.
Switch it out wide. Be brave.
Fucking hell. It's 2-on-1 there.
Play it to Bruno, but just make sure it's in front of him.
Yeah, he plays it behind Bruno.
Yeah. Just slows everything down.
That's shite.
Yeah, really poor.
But I actually rate
as we were just
the spell he's having. I do think Dan James, you know, we were saying
He is still having his best. He's
Yeah.
still having his best.
I always felt this season like he deserved towards the end, till the end of the season at least to see what he's made of. And I think he's justified himself as at least a squad player.
Now, I agree with you, actually. I agree with you that he's justified himself as a squad player. He's not a starter. He's not a regular starter, but he's somebody who might be able to play in some games for tactical reasons. He might be able to mix things up from off the bench.
Or a minute because of injuries.
Particularly, he offers a really interesting threat in terms of counter-attacking because of his pace and how direct he is.
Yeah.
But he's not a starter quality.
No.
Right, you got to help him out there.
Yep.
That's not his fault. There's absolutely no one around him when he bombed forward.
Dominate all the way back to Henderson there. I wonder if we will make a sub because there's 15 minutes to go. The game has just settled down a little bit again. We scored, and we were saying before, West Ham came out at us. United was sitting back and sort of playing into it. Last 5 or 10 minutes or so, certainly last 5 minutes, it has sort of gone back in United's favour a bit, hasn't it? We've ridden the storm a touch.
I'd like
Marcus
to see.
is about to get a yellow card here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I think Rashford could do with coming off myself. I think he's played 75 minutes. He's just been carded. You know, I'd put Ahmad on. And I would also like to see Matic come on, probably in place of Fred, who I don't think has had a bad game, but I think it would help just to have some fresh legs in the middle of the park.
O'Neill Riley says, Maguire is hiding in defence. I think Maguire's hiding in defence. I think it's been really good.
Hiding in defence?
Comfortably United's best defender, I would say. It's a weird tackle from Rashford.
Too late there.
What is he doing there?
I think he thinks he may be stopping a counter, but I don't know if he is.
Horrifically late, that.
You know.
Yeah.
It's one of them. It's a yellow.
Yeah.
But it's like the most nailed on yellow you're ever going to get.
Yeah, you're never getting sent off for it, but
you're never not getting a yellow for
it. Yeah.
It's one of them where you're not arguing about that one.
Yeah.
It's just he didn't even wait for the card. He just sort of
Yeah, cheers.
I still can't get over the absolute cheek of McTominay claiming that goal was his when he was.
I love that. I love how it wasn't how obvious it wasn't his when we saw the replay, because I literally just saw the net bulge and him spin off and just assumed that fucking hell, sure could have made that then.
It would be it'd be a great rule to adopt in football.
Here we go.
That's a great ball.
That's beautiful.
Mason
Go on,
and
Mason.
Rashford.
You can beat him.
You can beat him.
He's shit.
Right, make
He's in the fucking post.
Greenwood's at the post there.
That would have been it.
And he absolutely did him as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, the
did
goalie
him
went the wrong way.
Bastard.
Fuck's sake.
I wonder whether or not we're going
Smacked
to
it
live
so
to
hard
regret
there.
that.
Smacked it so hard. He doesn't need to hit it that hard, but I mean, he's fucking done the goalie, and it's about 2 inches from going in. Fuck.
He completely sent the keeper the wrong way.
Completely.
He's had a great game today as well, Mason Greenwood. He
been
deserves
good.
a goal.
He's looked as good today as I've seen him look in a long time.
Yeah. Gets on the ball and drives at the defenders, and one of the few that's done that. And it was him driving at the defender, which led to the corner we scored from.
Well
but,
remembered.
He's been good.
Take a fucking foul there.
And he deserves a goal. Like you said, that chance he made in the first half that Fabianski just finger-tipped onto the post, and then that one where he just don't quite line it up right. He gets everything, sends the goalie the wrong way, hits it about 75 miles an hour, and just hits the post. Keep the ball.
I'll tell you what, Bruno Fernandes, if you watch him when he's not on the ball, he looks absolutely gassed.
Go on, Scott. Go on, lad. There's a big gap there. That's the one.
What are you doing? Look at Bruno Fernandes in the bottom of the screen,
Yeah.
number 18. He's moving like he's shattered.
Yeah.
Look
It
at
must be.
this.
Great run. And see what Rashford's run does here. It drags the man with him, so there's that space, and he just toe pokes it, doesn't he, onto the post.
Well, it's like Fabianski was letting it go now.
Yeah.
The way he did that. I was like, yeah, go on, have that goal. That gone in. He'd have had some explaining to do. There you go. Oh,
Fabianski was so convinced he was going across his body that he already took a step, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he went the other way and just, he could have side-footed it in.
See,
He
last
sort of
season,
drilled
those
it.
were just going in, weren't they?
Yeah.
Left, right, and centre.
Yep.
It's just one of those this season where he's just not had the rub of the green.
No.
People don't like to talk about luck, but it's a thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, but I kind of feel as well, you make your own luck, don't you?
Yeah.
I make my own luck sometimes. Potluck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Oh, you're kidding me.
Good block, Luke Shaw.
What an amazing little bit of skill then.
Fucking hell.
What a filthy little bit of skill that was.
Yeah.
Fucking playing FIFA Street, that lad.
Luke Shaw.
Fuck off. He's not about to say you're not having a
Do
free
you know
kick
that?
for that.
Do you know, and it has gone against United in the past, that.
Great touch.
But do you know Antonio's sort of known for being strong and physical?
Yeah.
Do you know, because Luke Shaw chucked him over then. I reckon that's why he didn't give that foul. If that had been on a slighter player, a smaller player, he'd have given a foul there.
What you think, yeah.
Because Antonio,
I know
you're strong and hard.
I know
you
exactly
shouldn't
what you
go
mean.
down at that.
Mo Salah's getting a foul for that.
Every 10
yeah.
times out of 10. Ryan Giggs is getting a foul for that. Or Mata, if they get shoved in the back like Luke Shaw just did then. I mean, I'm quite happy that it wasn't.
I always feel horrible when people foul Mata. It's like punching a puppy.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it?
That should be an instant red, that foul.
Yeah. I really don't think Ole trusts the youngsters that
Get
much.
out of the fucking way, Atkinson.
This is Rahul J. He waits as long as possible to change because he's worried something will go wrong.
But the thing is Amad Diallo has had next to no time as like literally, he's had less than 2 hours of football. Would it be nice to see him? Yes, but this game is still in the balance.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have a corner.
Shola Shotaya is a boy.
Yeah.
He's a young
When
boy.
you talk about youngsters, you know, I know that he was bought in, but Wan-Bissaka's 22 and Mason Greenwood's 19, and you know he's quite comfortable playing.
Dan James
young players.
is 21.
Dan James
Rashford's
is 21,
Rashford's
22. Rashford's fucked, isn't he?
Sitting down.
Look
Bruno's
at
fucked.
Bruno's
He's
fucked.
injured. Rashford's fucked.
He's
AC
injured.
Milan must be rubbing their hands there.
Bruno's holding his thigh or just above his knee.
It's from that tackle before, isn't
Yeah. So we've got our two most. Well,
For
our
the
two
love of
best
God,
players, both
take
injured.
them off now.
Yeah.
Take them off and see out this last 10 minutes. Look, he's literally holding
his
bloody...
leg as he takes the corner kick, which is, you know, interesting.
Corner to United. Ball goes in. A similar place to the last one. Did Fabianski just pretend to punch that out?
I don't
know. The ball got headed out in front of him.
Take
Everyone's
them off.
fucking injured, look.
Put Matic on and put Ahmad on.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, do something. Rashford's sort of limping and
Come on,
hobbling
look,
Fernandes
out.
looks goosed.
He's fucked.
Rashford looks goosed.
I did say earlier on that Bruno was moving weird, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't moving well.
Yeah. Well done, Wan-Bissaka.
Ah, man.
Yeah, I'd
Right.
take him off. Although, you know, here's the problem. We sit back. It could just be Everton all over again, couldn't it? All it takes is one set piece. The more we have the ball, the less chance we have of conceding. I know that sounds stupid and obvious, but the way this team concedes, it's set pieces, it falls in the box. And if we sit back and allow shots to be had, we're trying to
him
block
out.
shots, they're going to have corners and crosses.
If we're anything like as clinical as we should be, though, we're 3-0 up.
Yeah, of course.
And this isn't a problem.
But, you know, that's the position we're in, isn't it? Where we're not quite there with that this season.
Fuck off. Seriously.
Lanzini on the
shit.
ball, inside. Good defending again from Maguire, getting
Done well there.
a heavy tackling on
It is
Antonio.
Lanzini number...
Lanzini's number 16, or number 10, sorry.
Just Scott McTominay and I think it was Wan-Bissaka getting themselves in a bit of a pickle there.
Yeah, they were. He does well here, Maguire. Just gets that late challenge in on Antonio to stop that pass being any good. Back to Lanzini. And is it a goal kick as well?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, Lanzini tried some weird
Right, this is just
acrobatic
fucking, may as well give him
kick.
a corner if we're going to keep doing this shite.
Yeah.
Although they're not. Yeah, they are pressing it.
Oh, fuck's sake. Look,
Shocking
we got
from
away
Luke
with
Shaw,
that one.
but Greenwood's on it.
Right.
And an injured Bruno Fernandes is overlapping on the counter attack. You can't knock his application, can you?
Oh, no, he's
Clearly
an absolute
injured.
warrior.
And he's sprinting to overlap Mason Greenwood on a counter attack that doesn't even exist. That's how much he's up for it. He'd be a nightmare in five-a-side, wouldn't he? He's the one who you go, oh, he's so good.
Oh,
but
yeah.
fucking hell, he's horrible to play against. Like, we're all knackered with about 6 minutes to go, and he's still flying into tackles and screaming at you for missing.
Well, that's a fucking foul.
Yeah, it looked like it. Lanzini. Tackled by Luke Shaw.
Oh, was that our ball?
No, he's kicked it against Lanzini. That's a goal kick.
Still no subs. Still.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Surprised we've not made any subs. Who'd you bring on now? Matic, maybe?
Matic for Fernandes and
Diallo for Rashford.
Do you know what? Even Tellez for Rashford.
Yeah.
And have a bit more attacking with down that left-hand side as he's played before.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Why are we
That
playing?
kind of makes sense what you're saying. I
Why
know
are
people
we-
go, what left back, but he's not a left back, is he?
Why are we playing with 2 injured players in this game
Because,
now?
and here's
And you
the
know what
unfortunate
you-
fact though,
you know what
they
you-
are our 2 best players.
You know what United are like as well, though,
Yeah.
is you mentioned our vulnerability from set pieces.
Yeah.
Matic immediately addresses that problem
He
because he's-
addresses it, but he doesn't fix it. He's tall and he's decent in the air, but he'd lost his man the other day when we conceded, didn't he?
Oh, go on,
brilliant
give it
from
back.
Dan
This
James.
is fucking mint from Daniel
Great
James.
turn there, driving forward, keep the ball, keep the
on
ball.
your own, son.
Oh,
poor cross.
He had the right idea.
It's a great
Don't
turn
have the
and run
quality.
that.
Right, give it to a red shirt.
He just lacks that bit of quality at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But he did really well there. It was a lovely turn out and then driving forward. Just keep the ball a bit here. We don't necessarily need to take loads of risks. Just try and wind the clock down a touch.
Just keep recycling possession. Be smart about it.
Yeah.
Turn.
Dominate. To Greenwood. I'm getting a bit nervy now.
If West Ham don't want to come out and press us, then we shouldn't feel the need to come out and attack them.
No, just keep the ball.
Just keep them. Just keep the ball.
Sure. See, I thought Luke Shaw was just going to chip the ball into the box, and I'm glad he didn't. That's good from Rashford. This is a bit better from United, just slowing the game down, keeping the ball, winding down the clock a bit. Start from that Dan James run, didn't it?
This is a lovely spell of really controlled possession.
Yeah.
This moving it from side to side.
Just need to keep a bit of composure. That's good.
This would be a great goal if they could get something here.
Oh, Fabianski's palmed it out. Fucking hell,
Fuck's
lucky
sake.
bastard there. He's dived for that and not got it. Well done, Victor Lindelof, beating Antonio in the air.
Don't dive in there,
He's
Scott.
booked already, McTominay.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. I think that's Ben Rama on the ball. Oh, it's a foul against McTominay.
No.
He's not booked him. I don't think it was a booking. See, that's Fabianski for you. 2 incredible saves, and then look at this. He don't even...
What is he doing?
Just jumps out and just plops it down on the penalty spot.
That's weird. That,
When
innit?
it's going for you, it's
If
going
you
for
saw
you,
that on
innit?
Sunday League, you'd be like, Jesus.
Fucking hell, Alan! I'm still pissed. Yeah, but in its Premier League, and he's just pulled off a world-class save in the first half and a very good save in the second half. Antonio crossed it in.
Well
Henderson
done.
claims.
Dean Henderson does the right thing there.
Yeah.
We don't need to rush here. We don't need to rush.
Give him options, for fuck's sake. Oh, fuck.
Frowning Joker said, at the beginning of the season, Ollie was advocating for 5 subs in a game.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. So he could have 5 that he
but
wouldn't
at
fucking
the beginning of the
use.
season, we had like Paul Pogba, Tony Marshall, and fucking
Oh, we did. Do you remember that bench we had
Van
that
der
time? It
Beek
was
on
like-
the bench.
It was Van der Beek, Pogba, Cavani,
Yeah.
Anthony Martial on the bench. Oh, there's like more than that. And then we still had a top class starting 11.
Yeah.
Now on the bench, obviously young lads.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially the under 16s.
I mean,
isn't
it's
it?
almost like not having a pre-season and having to play more games to make up for all the COVID things have caused extra injuries and fucking.
It is quite like that. And therefore, you would assume the team with the most expensive, largest, deepest squad would do well this season. And oh, look, Man City are top of the league.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
because
not a surprise, is it?
Man City lose a centre back and they go, should we just spend £100 million on
Or
centre
they'll go,
backs?
which of our 6 £50 million centre backs that currently aren't getting a game shall we call on for the next 2 months? Oh, John Stones, you'll do.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not playing that well. Oh, I'm Eric Laporte, who we told everyone was the best centre back in the league last season. You can come and have a few games.
Ruben Diaz is brilliant.
Yeah,
though.
he is.
He's brilliant.
But they've also got even if Diaz, Stones,
Nathan
Laporte get
Ake
injured-
was like
Nathan Ake's
40
there,
million quid,
who's
wasn't
a
he?
40 million quid player who's barely touched the ball from. I know he's been injured for a lot of that, but the depth they have in certainly the midfield and defensive positions is absolutely ridiculous. As
the fucking hell was that?
one of the worst crosses I've ever seen from Declan Rice. I like Declan Rice, but if this was United 1-0 down and did that, you'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
David Moyes there. Really capturing his time at United,
Just
isn't
shouting while no one listens to him as his team are getting beat. Yeah,
Oh,
that just sums it
shit.
up.
Maybe we should have fucking been attacking from the first minute rather than waiting to go 1-0 down, you know?
Not even trying to have a shot for 60 minutes.
Oh.
Maybe that's not the best tactic.
Maybe putting everybody behind the ball was a fucking bad idea, Paul.
They were relying on, and it almost worked, and you could still say it did work if they get a goal back. But they were literally relying on United missing chances to win this game, weren't they? And luckily we've missed about 3, but we've scored 1. Fucking hell.
Don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I think the game plan from their perspective was
fucking
always to
hoofing
hit
it
us
to
on
each other until we lose
counter-attacks,
possession.
knowing that we don't do well when teams sit back off against us.
Yeah.
But they have had so little going forward.
Fuck
the
off.
Counter-attacks have been so slow.
Yeah.
And they've had so few players
Well
that
done,
they've committed
Luke
forward
Shaw.
that it just hasn't worked. Luke Shaw's again has had a
Excellent
great
today.
game.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Him and Maguire have been brilliant defensively. And that's a foul on
Thank you.
Bruno. See there, that's what I'm talking about. Sort of player where Bruno, he's not particularly hard, he's not tough. When he gets tackled and kicked like that, people get fouls against him, or give fouls against him, which is good.
Oh,
3 minutes of added time.
It's a clear foul, to be honest. Declan Rice
What's he
again.
fucking moaning for there?
I kicked the ball. Admittedly, I kicked his shin. Oh, the back. Oh,
I
no,
don't
he
know.
doesn't. He
I've
gets
been
the ball.
moaning. I've been moaning.
He gets the ball. It's
I've
a good
been moaning,
tackle.
to be fair.
Yeah.
It looked like he went through the back of him, but
He
he
just
didn't.
stands on the ball from the back, doesn't
just
he?
gets the ball.
2.5 minutes left. David Moyes is fuming.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's the reason.
Yeah, David Moyes is blaming that 91st minute foul for the reason his team have been shit for fucking
Not the first 65
minutes.
minutes where they were literally camped inside their own boxes.
Luke Shaw's done well there.
Just recycle possession.
Bad touch, Scott McTominay.
He also blasted it at him, didn't he? Yeah. This will be the first time we've done the double over West Ham since the David Moyes era. Ironically. Was it ironic or is it just coincidence? Who knows?
We've not done it yet, though, have we?
No. We've got 2 minutes still to go. Is Dan James in book there? Here he has. Just sort of interfering,
Well, do you know what?
wasn't he?
It does kind of show. I mean, West Ham have been poor today, but it does kind of show the progress that they've made under Moyes.
Yeah.
In that they're only 1-0 down. They
Good
don't
foul.
get turned over anymore, and we're still looking at this and talking about them being a dangerous team.
Yeah, they're good. They're a much improved team. I mean, we've really struggled against West Ham even before David Moyes, especially away. But they are like this pretty much every week now, aren't they?
Jesus Christ, right, he's
in
just
terms of
fucking
difficulty.
tried to buy that.
Well done, Harry
Fuck
Maguire.
off. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Was it Dawson?
Have a bit of fucking pride.
Yeah. He's a centre back as well. So that's literally
No,
his
go
whole
for
game
it.
is
Go
built
for
around
it.
that.
Do you know
Come
what I
on,
mean? Like,
let's watch this.
50-50.
Let's watch
They're
this.
both running next to each other. Oh, that's just shocking. Both got their arm up like that, just
Yeah.
like that, and just falls over like he's been fouled by Maguire.
Do you know what as well? He went down and he very quickly saw that nobody had been like penalty. And he was like, oh, yeah, I just fell.
It's shit when it happens, innit? He's got up screaming for it and none of his teammates are interested.
Even though it's the 92nd minute and they've got
Right.
nothing to lose by screaming for it, even his teammates were like, mate, we've got more self-respect.
Thrown to West Ham. We've got about 30 seconds left. Luke Shaw's been given man of the match. For me, it'd be between him and Maguire, but maybe Luke Shaw's offered a bit more.
I'd give it Mason, mate.
Mason, yeah, close
I would
third.
have, and I'm not just saying that because I'm like, I love Mason Green, but okay, he hit the post but a couple of times, but I think those are chances he fashioned himself, really.
Yeah.
Not sitters or anything.
No.
Caused absolute havoc.
Haggis
down that right-hand side.
To be fair, Lindelof hasn't had a bad game either.
No, they've all been good. They've not. I wouldn't say anyone's had a stinker, despite it only being 1-0. I think United have been comfortably the better team.
Well, you
and
fucking
have deserved
whistle.
to win. As we enter the 94th minute now, 93:02. Come on, ref. Declan Rice on the ball.
Fuck off.
Ball on the left. Transfer across, blocked by Wan-Bissaka, and it's a fucking corner. No.
This would be the most...
Yes!
Oh,
yes.
they've given it! They've even given a corner there. Full
Gets
time.
in. Big 3 points.
Fantastic.
That. Well
Massive
done,
3
Reds.
points there for Man United. Freddie, what's your initial thoughts on that game?
Tight.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was a tight... But we all said it was going to be a tight game, didn't we?
Yeah.
We knew we weren't going to come over and turn them over. I think, to be honest with you, we deserved... We did enough to win that game.
Yeah.
Because for 65, 70 minutes, West Ham weren't interested.
No.
Ironically, it was only when United scored that they thought, oh, well, we've got nothing to lose by having a go. That's when things became dangerous for us.
Yeah.
What I would say is, taking it away, I'm really glad to see Mason Greenwood's had a good game.
Yep.
What I would say is, again, we suffer from this lack of clinical finishing. Do you know what I mean? We had enough chances in this game to put this game to bed, and it comes a cropper for us too many times.
And eventually, it does drop you some points, doesn't it? But in terms of that game,
I think today, you pointed out there, Harry Maguire played well, Victor Lindelof played well, it was a good, solid back five performance.
Yeah, it was.
And that's what's been missing, because
Henderson
we've had games
as well
where
was good.
we've missed chances, but we've scored goals and drawn or lost. Today, we didn't even take our chance. They scored it for us.
Another
And we
clean
had
sheet as well, which
that's
is,
the thing.
at this point,
It was
becoming very
resolute
regular.
defending. And how many times did Dean Henderson make a worldie save?
Yeah.
But
none.
It was
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was helpful. We're talking about a good defensive performance, and it was, but it was helped by the fact that for 50, 60 minutes, West Ham showed absolutely no desire to go out and win that game.
DavidMoyes.com.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we only really had to defend, or even had the option of defending for 30 minutes. But you look at that. I mean, you said it. You said it at full time. It's a big 3 points.
Yeah.
That puts us 9 points clear.
Yeah, if hopefully we'll have a full-time table. We'll come to that in the review. Before we go, this watch-along has been sponsored by OneFootball, the best, I'm going to say it, they're the best football app you can get. Stats, league tables, transfers, videos, AR as well, so you can get your team sheet on the table, click them all, get the stats in. It's a fantastic app. Again, you can cover all the matches, check out live scores, and like I said, transfer rumours and gossip. Jay's absolute favourite. The link is in the description. Make sure you check out OneFootball. It's a free app as well, so get it downloaded. Right, we are going to go. We will be back very shortly for the post-match review, which is pinned in the comments. Click on the link.
Before we do that, Freddie, give yourself a plug, mate.
Oh,
Come on,
plug. Follow me on
quickly.
youtube.com/Freddy Quinne Comedy. I'm also on TikTok, because apparently I'm a 14-year-old girl.
You're looking good for it.
I've certainly got the tits for it. Feel free to follow us on TikTok as well. It's just at Freddy Quinne. But YouTube would be great. youtube.com/Freddy Quinne Comedy. Loads of stand-up of mine on there.
Great, and if you want to buy some Nike Blazer high tops for the cheap price of £70, Freddie's got a spare pair. These aren't the ones, these are just a version. Lift them up a bit higher, Freddie. We're going to have to get those hamstrings going. There you go. They will be available on eBay. As Freddie eats shit and falls into the wall. We're going to be back in just a minute for the review. Thank you very much for joining us. Manchester United have beaten West Ham 1-0 to go 9 points clear in the top four race. Pretty good, isn't it? 9 points clear. Not exactly how we wanted it. 9 points clear of second would have been great.
Yeah.
But 9 points clear of fifth is pretty good as well. Like I said, we'll be back for the review. Click the link in the comments and we'll be there in just a minute. We'll see you in a bit.